We're here. Happy 4th of July. Oh, it says we're live. Doo-doo-doo-doo. So we're here. I hope that everyone is having a happy 4th of July. I'm not sure if we're live or not. We're having technical issues.
That was special.
Bum, bum.
Are we live?
I think we're live.
That
I'm
was
live.
glitchy.
I'm not sure whether or not we're actually... Oh, look, there I am. Don't read out loud. Who do we have here? We have James Anthony, and this is going so fast. Barbecue 76, Daughter of Ra, Jennifer White Wolf, PT, Owens Jeep Staff, Jacka, Eric. Who else do we have? Owens Jeep Stuff. I think I said your name already. Thank you for being here. Steven, James Anthony, Jay Badass, Daughter of Rob, Ryan Nirvana. Oh my goodness. Ryan's Jeeps, or Ryan. I am super tired and not feeling 100%.
It's been a long week.
Yeah. Owens Jeep Stuff, $10 super chat says, Happy 4th, everyone. I hope it was a great day for all. So thank you so much, Owens Jeep Stuff, and I'm really sorry that I said the wrong name. 3, 2, 1. Bing, 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 bing. Thank you. I hope everyone had a great 4th, too. Wow, Cool is here. Blind Tool Man. He says, I see you.
Heidi ho, everyone. Sorry about the little confusion there at the startup. The interface got glitchy. It said we were live, and then it said it couldn't stream right now, and then it said it was going to take a nap. Anyway, when in doubt, refresh, and poof, look, it all works.
Yep.
So we're here. It has been an excessively long week. Sorry. For those of you who don't know, we also run a second channel called The Bear's Den, where we try to do a live stream every morning. We talk stocks, news, and whatnot. And unfortunately, the missus has been under the weather all week.
Yes.
So I've been trying to make her stay in bed and get some extra sleep. So we've not been doing the morning stream. So for those of you who do come up, show up for that, sorry, but we should be back and live next week. Maybe.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes.
Maybe.
Oh, okay. Maybe.
And we'll let you know.
Yep.
What else? Oh, and then Friday, I was planning to put out another part of the Made in the USA series on Friday. But if you think you had a crappy day on Friday, we had to replace a whole sewer line. So we had a friend come out and lend us a hand. He is, or at least was, a professional. He used to be a union plumber, and now he does other things. But he lent a hand, and a couple other guys, and we went to town, and the Cubs helped out as well, and we put in a whole new sewer line and pulled out some really nasty stuff. So, and I gotta say, we got really lucky. This could have ended up being tens of thousands of dollars worth of work, and we got away practically scot-free. Talk about leading a blessed life. Anyway, just want to say hi to everyone. Anyway, that's what's going on. Then the Cubs and I just got finished with a road trip. We went to Billings today for no apparent reason and just spent a bunch of time on the road. And I'm exhausted. Mater's Workshop says hi. By the way, if you're new to the stream, make sure you type in where it is. There it is. Where it says up there, right here. It says type in @DenaTools. It shows up as an orange blurb on our screen. We read every comment that is tagged with that, as well as the other, what do you call it, the super chats and everything else. So we will get to your comments. So please type it in there. Let's see here. Do we say hi to Rye? Tony Fleming says hi. Gene Kelly. Happy 4th, Bear family and everyone. Tony Ringtail in the house. He said, greetings from Mr. and Mrs. Bear. First week at Big Orange has been pretty good. I put out some interesting stuff. If you send something in for a warranty, they fix it in-house. That's really cool. James Anthony says, do the morning streams, but do it with sock puppets. Do her voice on your offhand.
No one would know the difference, really.
Blind Tool Man, watch out for flies. Hey now. Robert Adams says, thought she sounded a little gunky over there, then came back to us this morning. Frank Landgraf says, welcome back. Donna Ross says, wait, can Jesse do laundry there now? Yes and no. We now have the plumbing to do laundry. We do not have the laundry machines. They're still in Vegas. So I actually said that I would do a run here probably in about a month back down to Vegas to get the laundry and some of my other bigger power equipment, some stuff like that. Wohawk's in the house. Why you got to make the stream crappy? Someone had to go there. Wow, cool says, any experience with mini bikes, more specifically restoring them. Currently working on one Predator 212. Just went in. In fact, we did a video a few years ago. I got the Cubs a new mini bike, one of those Moto X ones. Is that what they're called, Duncan?
What?
The mini bikes you had, what were they called?
Oh, I forgot.
I thought it was Moto X.
Yeah.
We bought the new one from Sears, and I bought a used one for like $100. And we did some work on that. On top of that, I also have a video where I did a restoration on was it the Baja 500? It's the slightly larger mini bike. You now see it sold under the Coleman brand. They were selling it at Tractor Supply. That thing was a lot of fun to work on. Rodney says, what we got to do to hear a freedom cowbell? Yeah, huh?
3, 2.
Happy birthday, America.
Happy birthday.
Go. Oh my gosh. Jeffrey White Wolf says, how long do you plan on being live tonight? I need to drop in and go out and grill, and then probably 6 till 9 like we normally do on a Sunday. Light Old Man says, Pabst Blue Ribbon makes hard coffee.
Whoa.
Do they really? I bet it's delicious. Riley says, my dad is a huge fan, watches you all the time. Can you please say hi? His name is Russell. Howdy, Russell. Happy birthday, America, Russell. Hope you're having a great 4th of July Independence Day there. Tech Dog, happy 4th. Any idea why Home Depot is next to no PT lumber? Need to pressure treated lumber. Need to rebuild my deck. The problem. So here's the thing. All of those stores, any of these hardware stores, they all source their lumber, I don't want to say locally, but regionally. So it could be a regional issue. Because I found traveling around the United States that you get different lumber at different stores. You know, out in the West, you're going to get, for hardwood, the only thing you can find is red oak. You're not going to find white oak. You're not going to find any of the other stuff. It's going to be that, and you're going to get, white, what do they call the softwood, whitewood, and then maybe some pine and some redwood, which is totally different than what you get, say, in the Southeast. Trolling for dollars.
Any progress?
Any progress on the Go-kart? No, I've been trying to source metal for the Go-kart. I'm trying not to spend a bunch of money on it, and we're gonna build a roll cage for it. And we want to see if we can lift it up a little bit, but that's going to require a good bit of metal. So we're trying to grab some here and there as we can. You didn't happen to wash off those bottles we got, did you?
No.
Oh,
I
I should show you guys the bottles we dug up when we were digging up the backyard. We found 100-year-old little bottles filled with stuff. It was interesting.
That sounds terrible the way that you just said
Yes. Where was I? Russell Sparks says, will you say hi to my son, Riley, please?
Hey, Riley. Happy 4th of July.
Did the dad and the son just ask us to say hi to each other?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. They got a good thing going.
Yeah. Guy YouTuber eating pizza. Oh, I love me some pizza.
Rodney Crossland Jr. says, $5 super chat. I had to give for the freedom cowbell. Aw, you were so sweet. I will ring the bell, or I can ring the cowbell. I guess it's sort of, you like the cowbell. So, everyone cover your ears if the freedom cowbell is too free for you. 3, 2, 1. Happy birthday, America.
Happy birthday.
I feel like I should have made a
And
cake.
there,
Fireworks.
you may hear some fireworks. They've been going off most of the day. It just got finished raining here. Thank goodness the weather said no rain today. Just complete downpour for like 20 minutes.
Jesus Franco, that's a really great idea. Sorry, $5 super chat. He says, for the 100 subs, y'all should do a fan mail episode in which y'all open up fan mail or
letters.
letters from us.
We haven't been getting a lot of fan mail.
We also have been getting it slowly.
Yeah.
We need to figure that out. We need to figure out an address. That is a great idea. So I'm going to ring for your super chat, Jesus. And I think that's a great idea. 3, 2, 1. Bing, 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 bing. Thank you.
And Frank says, we grilled pineapple teriyaki brats with mac and cheese and mashed potatoes. Oh, that sounds pretty good.
That sounds pretty good.
You know what I grilled today? No, calm down. Don't overreact. I grilled an American flag. Our old American flag was beyond
Yes.
salvageable. So we had the Cubs around, and we properly disposed of our old American flag, and we put up a new one today. It felt pretty good.
I feel really bad that it was raining so hard when I came home. I didn't even notice because we have needed to replace that flag. So I'm glad we were able to do it. Maintenance man with the $9.99. America. Okay.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, that's not what I heard in my head, which is why I had to stop because it was not family friendly. Thank you so much for the super chat, and I'm going to ring the bell. If you have a preference when you do your super chat for the cowbell or what do we call this? The office bell?
Yeah. Put CB for cowbell or OB for office bell.
Yeah, and I'll still be confused. Anyways, thank you so much, maintenance man. I hope that you were having a wonderful 4th of July. Bing, 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 bing. Sorry, I got excited.
Just a little bit. It was really cool because when we did it, the Cubs there, especially the oldest one, he was like, I'm having really mixed feelings about this with the flag. He's like, it feels really wrong, and yet it feels really good. This whole like kind of like rebirth kind of thing. He's like, yeah. So.
Well, and it's a hard thing to see you the first time.
Yep.
You know.
Rye says they had Philly cheesesteaks for dinner. Mohawk says first sewer talk, then bottles filled with stuff. It's not going well. Don't worry, we'll send you some free samples. Steven says the Harbor Freight cart and Blackstone griddle has gotten a lot of positive response on the Facebook. That, you know what? That actually opened up a whole bunch of ideas to me as far as like turning one of those carts into a portal, into like a small workstation. Like, so I'm a big believer, especially for those of us with smaller workspaces, in mobility of workstations, being able to move your tools around. So you can park a bunch of stuff in the corner when you're not using it, and then for different projects, you wheel out and make the tools you're going to use for that project more prominent. And, you know, carts and workstations and stands for a lot of tools are fairly expensive, and that seemed like a great way to take something like that. Another idea I had was filling leaving it the tray side up rather than reversing it, and then filling it with concrete to make it heavy and put a smooth surface, and then like turn it into like a sanding station or something like that. So anyway, I got a lot of different ideas. At $40, there's a lot you can do with something like that.
DJ Cool Cat and Stacks. I am so tired. You are repeating the same message, which I am seeing because I am further along than Jeff. But if you write at the Den of Tools,
so just he tried to.
No, he did.
No, he just put in
Den
of
of
Tools.
Tools.
You have to put the Den of Tools. And August is what we're hearing on those.
Yeah.
Eric says, I still have that motor and speed controller for your mini bike. Oh my gosh, I was meaning to get in touch with you. I was trying to find your email because I know you sent me an email about it. I don't suppose there's any chance I could get you to email me again. red@denatools.com. I really appreciate the offer, and with this, I'd love to do it. I have this idea about doing a an electric boost to the go-kart that we have. But anyway, can I say anyway a few more times?
Anyway.
Email me if you can, red@denotools.com. Jay Bada says, does your dog get scared of fireworks? The loud ones that are really close, she's not a fan of. Like the screamers and stuff like that doesn't seem to bother her. But the ones that have a concussive force, like lightning, she's not a big fan of lightning. Steven says, I still owe you some SK picks. Sorry, I'll get them coming this week. Hey, by the way, I want to let you all know. Thank you for that, by the way. SK Tools has a deal going on right now for any of their sets that they are, let me pull it up. They're 25% off. And if you use the code J, here, I'll actually put the code in the chat here because it's kind of confusing.
Yeah.
But the point is that it doesn't take, from what I saw, it doesn't take 25% off of the regular price. It takes 25% off of the sale price. Like somebody was asking screwdrivers. So I looked up the set of screwdrivers for them, and I applied the code, and it took the 25% off from the lowered price, which is pretty cool if you've been looking to get into SK Tools.
That's awesome.
All right, back to the stream. You're current there, so I can still do this. Yep. Donna Russ says, we did burgers, corn on the cob, and zucchini on the grill. I was great up until you said the Z word.
Zucchini sounds delicious.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Robert says, everything in the shop and anything heavy anywhere else should be on wheels. Anything you can, you should put on wheels. You really should. Ronald Smith says, my little brother loading up the truck right now to blow up neighborhood in Scipio fireworks in Central Florida. I'm sure I screwed up that name. Terrible.
Yeah. Maybe he means the way it looks when the light. Anyways.
Edgar Ramirez says, is the Delta table saw not going to be sold at Lowe's anymore? I see that it is available at Home Depot. No, they have replaced it with a newer version.
Sorry.
It's got a slightly different color profile, and they've gotten rid of the panels on the side.
Oh, sorry.
Easy there, Tex.
Sorry.
Hey, can I give you this?
That's what I was going to get.
Well, I thought maybe you'd want to bring it back in that too. No, maybe.
Just keep it up.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm on video. There'll be evidence. She's threatening me. Which is situation normal around here. Somebody commented that they had a problem, that they got one and they had a problem with the motor burning up, and they claimed that was a problem with the new motors. I've heard one report. I've heard no corroborating evidence to go along with that. I don't know anything about it. I do know 2 other people who have that saw, and they're thrilled with the new one. As far as getting the old saw, if you can still find a place that has the old saw in stock, and talk to the store manager, they're closing them out. See if you can get it cheap. Wohawk says, carts and workstation stands. Oh my. Now if I only had a brain. Steven says, I'm glad I get the gears going in your head. I also smiled when you brought it up on the digital catalog. Hey, it was a great find, man. Anytime you have great hacks or workarounds or, alternative ways of doing stuff, feel free to, post it to the Facebook page or send it to me. I loved sharing that kind of stuff. And, wow, cool says, one I've learned after many years of having a small shop is you have to keep it clean, and it's pretty hard. That's for sure. I have to set aside time and say, okay, we're going to put everything back in its order. I try to keep it mostly clean as I go along. It's really hard when I'm in a creative process because I don't want to stop and get out of that process. But there are times where you just have to stop and go, okay, we're at a place where, it's becoming distracting. And Ronald Smith says, Florida is not mandatory to wear a mask outside. Zombie real hard eating and drinking with a French. What? What was that? Donna Ross says, Bear, I'm putting a 2-bite no thank you food for you. Mike Schmidt says, Jeff, did you get a pic of the fountain pen I sent you? I did. Sorry, I have not been able to respond. We had the wastewater management crisis pop up, and I have not done anything really online until this right now. It was It was special. I did take a 3-hour shower afterwards. Ronald says I was in the Boy Scouts and we had the burning ceremony. Do this as a public service. Oh, that's cool. You know, that may have been where I first saw it. I don't remember. But anyway, yeah, it was you know, the kids, they were a little traumatized by it, but you know, I talked them through it, and you know, then we did the whole thing with putting up the new flag, and you know, it was nice and bright and good colors and everything, and they were like, oh, you know, this is really cool, and I can see why we're doing this, and you know. And they're like, well, why don't we, you know, just throw away the old flag? I'm like, well, you don't want anybody desecrating it and do anything with it. You have to dispose of it properly, so it's gone. And they got that. So Steven says, I always have to take time to clean up as I make makeshift workspaces. And Fred says, wrote Harbor Freight about when the 5 and 8 amp hour battery was coming out. Theirs made no sense since they contact the store. So I did reach out to my contact at Harbor Freight, and I had a conversation with him about a number of things. And of course, he gets back to me the week where I was doing all the USA made stuff. So I'm going to have videos coming out this next week. We're going to talk about the Bauer, the batteries. They're still slated for August, which is what we've heard for the past 6 to 8 months. I got some more information on some Bauer brushless, other Bauer outdoor power equipment. I got information on whatchamacallit, the Hercules stuff that's coming down the pipe. And trying to think what else I heard about. Somebody else sent me some information. I'm trying to remember what it was. I don't remember. Anyway, Dub asks, Titanium 140 welder, any good? It is a great basic welder. The titanium flux core welder. It's probably one of the best basic intro welders that you can use. Riley says, can you see if there's a veterans group, or you can see if there's a veterans group near you to retire the flag? I didn't know you could do that. That's interesting. That would be pretty cool. Hold on, I'm going to go over to the Harbor Freight website real quick. There's something that's nagging at me. No. There's a new Bauer flashlight out. Compact LED work light. Was it the stuff they're getting rid of? Clearance? No. I can't remember what it is right now. I'm sure it'll come to me middle of the night. I'll wake up dead from a dead sleep. Let's see here. Oh, the 140. Sorry. I guess I was thinking the 170. What's the 140? Is there a 140? Oh, that's the MiG 140. I don't have the MiG 140. Sorry, I was thinking of the FluxCore 170. Who is it? Somebody has the MiG. There's a YouTuber who's got the MiG 140, and he did a great video on it. And try to remember what his name is. I think this is it. Let me see here. Yeah. Mike Festiva. Go check out Mike Festiva's channel. Here, I'll put a link to it. You got to see the Predator-powered articulated 4x4 dump truck. I can't believe he's got so few views on that thing. It's insane. Anyway. Go check out his channel. I think he's got a review on it. And he's thrilled with the Vulcan and the titanium stuff. Paul's Tool Review says, is anyone noticing restocking issues at their local Harbor Freight stores? I had to exchange 2 tools with no inventory. So, we've talked about this, I think, before in the live stream. So I did reach out to Harbor Freight about that, asked them for clarification. And basically what they said is that they are having record sales right now. And as far as people coming in and buying stuff, and that their supply can't keep up with demand. And, I guess it's one of those good problems to have. But the fact of the matter is, if you're seeing a shortage of stuff in stock, it's because basically the second it goes on sale, it's gone, and everyone's buying it. So they're just getting slammed. So I'm trying to figure out where I left off. Let me go over to my other feed here. And Mater's Workshop says, glad you're on tonight. I'm taking my fiance out of town on the trike for her birthday tomorrow. That sounds like fun. You guys have a be safe riding out there. Athenos says, what do you do about the gaps in the floor when moving things on wheels around? With gaps in the floor. Usually my workshops, I don't have gaps in the floor. And one of the things is if you have problems like that in the area, use larger wheels. Larger wheels will allow you to span gaps like that rather than having little small wheels which will get stuck, like in grooves and cement. I had a table that had like 1-inch wheels that it came with, and I replaced it with 3-inch wheels, and it just floats across them. It's no longer an issue. Wow Cool says, just got the Ryobi 18-volt hedge trimmer. Now have that line up top of the Makita. Now have that line on top of Makita 18-volt and DeWalt 12-volt. Any Ryobi 18-volt tools you recommend? Ryobi makes a lot of great 18-volt tools. And their brushless stuff, like their Impact and their drill driver, are great. They've got a lot of great, secondary kind of stuff. The new scrubbing line they've got for cleaning stuff and showers and boats and grills and whatnot. That thing is fantastic. I've got the Hart rotary tool, which is based largely on the Ryobi rotary tool, and I found that to be fantastic. I can't imagine that the Ryobi one would be not as good. I'm trying to think what else is great in the Ryobi line. Their outdoor power equipment, they've got great lawnmowers. They've got some really good trimmers. They've got some really cheap trimmers too. They sell 9 different grass trimmers. So there's a huge spectrum there of stuff you can go with. The PVC cutter's amazing. Is there something you wanted to add? You had that look.
No, I went to get ice, and it turned out the ice machine had some technical difficulties, and then someone who made a peanut butter and jelly sandwich left peanut butter all over the refrigerator.
Did you make me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
No. I cleaned up someone else's jelly all over the fridge.
Duncan? Uh-huh. Riley says, I'm a Boy Scout and I help local veterans retire flags. We have a box for people to drop off used flags. That's really cool. I've never seen that before. Somehow I've missed that. And James says, most American Legions and VFW posts will accept flags to be retired. Dub Coco says, thanks, I'll check it out. Matt says, happy Independence Day to Tool, Bear, and family. Thank you so much. Steve says, when we or I go to estate sales, I always look in the basement and say, I can make this into my workstation for projects. Mm-hmm. What's this?
Local Boy Scouts.
What are they doing? I can't read that.
It says, the Scouts were helping the American Legion with the annual display of about 150 flags for the celebration of the 4th of July. I actually thought they were taking them down to retire them.
No.
I just thought it was funny.
They put up a lot of flags around the park here. It's really beautiful. And let's see here. Fred says, Harbor Freight released either last year or early this year a complete picture of all the Bauer tools and all the Hercules tools on the flag go to the VFW or American Legion. They did release some of them, but they've released a picture since of both lineups that's expanded it, and I've recently gotten pictures of additional items for the Bauer lineup that weren't in any of those. Now I just have to figure out if I can show them without getting lit on fire. Donna Ross says, and when Steve goes to estate sales, I remind him that he doesn't have a garage.
Yes, I wasn't sure if you'd read that part yet.
Steve, don't feel bad. I currently do not have a garage.
But
yet.
I think
Soon.
I think we do though.
Yes.
sometimes.
What?
Remember, I was telling people
Oh,
about
yeah.
putting something in. A couple weeks ago, I was very tired, and I mentioned that something was in our garage, and Jeff stopped, and there was dead silence, and there's that moment where you're like, why is he looking at me like that? What? What did I say? He's like, we don't have a garage.
It's funny because you mentioned garage sales, and it got sitting around my desk one of my favorite garage sale finds, which is the duck.
Wah, 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 wah.
Look at him. He's beautiful. It's nice. I did. It is my mini duck.
I think
Eleanor
someone might be
covets my
coveting
duck.
his mini duck.
His
Put it on the bill.
green
Because I always do everything.
float across the screen there.
I booped
It's just like CGI. It's like the movies.
Yeah.
Look at that.
So that's going to be like make our budget super expensive. 'Cause we-
Anyway, if you
high-tech.
find inexpensive ducks, like wood ducks, like decoy kind of ducks, like not the ones that are actual decoys, but the ones that look kind of like decoy-ish. If you find some used ones like on eBay or something, let me know. I collect them a little bit. I don't have a huge collection, probably about not quite a dozen,
Yeah, I'd say about a dozen.
maybe. Anyway,
I send him pictures, and then he's like, "Ugh, I can't even believe you're sending that to me.
you sent me a picture of one place that we wanted like $80 for one of the ducks. I'm like, no, I'm not paying $80 for a
I
duck.
sent you the picture so that you could admire the duck,
No,
not so I could
the
be
duck I can't have.
chastised. Yes. I was trying to share.
Oh, look,
the duck
TNT
message
Rock
with-
said. Got the Milwaukee M18 Fuel half-inch impact ordered, but wanted to let the live stream know that the 3/4 impact is on sale at Northern Tool for $299. Is 5 amp plus. I'm guessing he means the 5 amp battery for free. That's a beast of a tool there. I guess so that brings up something. We're always talking about deals and stuff, and people are always like, "Well, you should go to the pawn shop stuff." I have never ever had a good deal at a pawn shop. Every time I go into a pawn shop, they want stupid amounts of money. And this last week was a perfect example. I walked in and they had a nearly new in the box M12 ratchet. And I'm like, oh, this would be great. We're going to be working on the Jeep this summer. This would be nice and fun to use. Do a little review for the channel. Blah, blah. I'm like, okay, let's see how much they want for it. $99 is the price on it. I'm like, that's more expensive than a new one. So I look online. Sure enough, I can get a new one in half a dozen stores for $90. So I'm like, well, okay, that's just the price he puts out there. Let's see what he's really good at. So I take it up to the front desk, put it down on the desk, and ask the guy, okay, what's your best price on this? He pulls it up on his little computer and goes, I could do $90. I'm like, I can buy it brand new from Home Depot for $90. Oh, yeah, well, there you go. Best price I can do. I absolutely hate pawn shops. I've never found a good deal at a pawn shop. All I ever find is like beat to hell stuff that they're asking pretty much new prices on.
Speaking of the Jeep, did you let everyone know about the added feature? that
Now
is
we've got murder hornets.
Yeah.
Okay, they're not murder hornets, but they're hornets. We got Montana hornets nesting in the Jeep. So now
Yeah.
I have to do a disinfection of the Jeep.
You're going to have an eviction party.
Yeah, someone's going to get evicted.
I think the kids should stay inside, considering our track record with hornets and...
Oh, I'm going to light them on
What is
fire.
the other one?
Hornets.
Was it hornets that stung?
They stung Griffin a couple years ago.
Wasps.
No wasps. Griffin got stung by hornets also. Duncan got stung earlier this year by a hornet. We got a lot of hornets around here.
I got stung by a bee.
Yes. She wants to make sure that she got in the I Got Stung By club.
I know.
Blind Tool Man says pics of the grillins so far. Are those the ones you showed me?
Yes. Yep.
That look pretty good.
Yep.
In fact, I'm kind of hungry right now.
There's a hot dog.
There's a hot dog.
I'm
Fred Hill
working
says,
on
now
those.
I have gaps in memory. Nice. Well, Hawk says, quiet, Jeff. The missus is back. Shh. Don't talk about her. Hey, Jesse, we're not talking about you while you were gone. Nope. That wasn't happening at all.
Well, Hawk, was that you? Mm-hmm. I'm looking at you. Uh-huh. I know what's going on.
Jeff White Wolf says, back here, anyone tried a 1/4 inch trim router, concerned about time per charge? I gotta tell you, I've got a few trim routers. I would never use a cordless trim router. It's so when we were doing the sewer work this weekend, we had to cut up. So we had new pipe that we had to cut to size, and we had old pipe that we had to cut out.
Excuse me.
So old clay pipe, and we used the Bauer recip saw, and it did a great job. Honestly, it took a beating. You know, my buddy who's a professional plumber, or at least was a professional, plumber for years and years. He was like, "Hey, this is a nice little saw," but the one thing is he's like, "But the battery on it doesn't last," and it doesn't. We used the 3 amp hour battery and the 1.5, and he's like, "This looks like a big battery." And he turns over and goes, "This thing's only 3 amp hour." He's like, "I thought this was like a 5 or an 8 amp hour." I'm like, "Oh, those are coming." So that's the one thing. It's like A, it's not brushless, and B, which will get you probably another 20% runtime out of it. But also that they're smaller batteries than they really look like they should be. Good performance, just no. But you're gonna get that with anything. You got to have a real high end battery. And when you talk about these things that have long run times, trim routers, sanders, grinders, any of that stuff, if you're going to have it be cordless, it needs to be brushless. You need to have a beast of a battery on it. Otherwise, go corded if you can. Fred says, "How's the broomstick laws in Montana?" Funny you should ask. So I finally broke down, and I tried to buy a new EDC item. The 365 XL. I've fallen in love with it. I have, because I held one with an optic, with the extended mag, and I'm like, this is slim enough to feel like a 1911. It's slim enough to feel like I could EDC it all day long, but it also feels like I could run it at the range all day comfortably. And when I used to teach classes, I cheated. When I was at the range teaching, I didn't use one of my CCW carry pieces. I used a full-size service sidearm because I'm not shooting every day, all day long with a concealed carry piece. They're not fun to shoot all the time. They're just not. And this really felt like it would be. And I finally broke down and went to buy it. And of course, Montana being one of the states where you run your instant background check, blah, 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 and got put on hold. And found out that a active duty sheriff had been put on hold that morning. And that basically 9 out of 10 people have been put on hold. Talked to some people later, and apparently everyone's getting put on hold right now. It's frustrating. And Rudolph Frassen? What's a good brand for finish nailers? I don't have a lot of experience with finish nailers. I have to admit, I was late to the game when it came to air nailers and electric nailers because I'm an old school carpenter and, just used hammer for everything else. I finally got around to using air nailers, and the only thing I've really used is the Harbor Freight. I've used the Central Pneumatic and I've used the Pierce brand. And I thought Central Pneumatic was fine. I thought the Pierce brand is fantastic. I've also used the Works cordless and the Ryobi cordless. I don't know if they have a finish nailer. I know they have brad nailers. I'm guessing they probably have a finish nailer. And those things are great. And Milwaukee's got the new Airstrike stuff. I'm not sure exactly though. I've heard mixed reviews from viewers on the channel about the Milwaukee stuff. So I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. Fred says, for Bauer, do they have a coffee pot? I asked him for a coffee pot and I asked him for a pizza oven. As requested from all of you, you said that they wanted those 2 items. I have told them. Also mentioned we wanted the remote control car like Ryobi used to have. I don't think that's too much to ask. And Frank, how's it going? I have a garage and my wife believes she should park in it. The nerve of some women. The wife's like, outrageous, from the other room. And Guy says, are third-party batteries any good? They are kind of a crapshoot. I've had cases where I've had third-party batteries last as long, if not longer, than the stock batteries. But the other matter of that is, or the other side of that is, I've seen ones where they don't last as long. So it's really dependent because there's no consistency. They have these batches that go. Some are good, some are bad.
Hey.
What did you get me? That's ice.
That's mine.
Hold on. I want to show them the weird ice cubes we have. You can have your ice cube back in just a second.
I want a drink.
Have a drink.
Thank you. Also, the bread packaging is completely covered in jelly, as is the counter. Gee, thanks.
You're welcome. That's our little instant ice maker. It makes a whole little tray of ice in 7 minutes.
A friend of mine was
that
like,
thing.
it looks like you have little eggs in your drink. And I'm like, what are you talking about? But they do kind of look like egg orbs. I hope everyone is having a great day. I am not prepared for today. So I'm having a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Oh, you made me one too.
Yes.
We even had dinner.
Yeah. We haven't
You
had
should have
dinner.
grilled these.
And we were both very busy today. And so I think barbecues might happen tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm not up to running the barbecue today. I have to say, though, and she makes a face every time I ask for it. One of my favorite comfort foods, do you know what I'm going to say? Mm-hmm. Grilled peanut butter and jelly.
Well, then.
It's amazing.
Having a drinking problem. I seem to be having
Use
some
your
issues.
plate.
Nice.
If you've never tried, it's just like a grilled cheese. You do it the same way, right? Mm-hmm. Well, you made it for me, so. Mm-hmm. I've never actually made it for myself.
I think a lot of people were envisioning that you put it on the grill.
No.
So I think that's actually where my brain went. I'm like, when did he grill a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
But I'd be willing to try that.
Jennifer Whitewolf says, hey, love for the Harbor Freight stainless steel insulated tumbler.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I love these things. Even though I don't think this is the Harbor Freight top. I don't know where this top came from. I hate this top.
It loves you. That's all that's important.
I don't think that it does.
Hey, Jennifer Whitewolf. I feel like I have peanut butter on my face. Sorry.
Wahawk,
you're in timeout.
what did you do now?
It says, remember, Jeff, you're the reason Jesse drinks.
Well, that's what I could go for. I need a drink tonight. Did she make a face? I wasn't looking. Let's see here. Frank says, we read that one. And RJ Gaming says, howdy. Dada Ross says, do the tools and they will see it. Trolling for dollars. I have had great luck at pawn shops. 25 cents for sockets and screwdrivers.
Wow.
They had a whole thing of sockets. And if you wanted to get cheap sockets, you could totally get that. But I have to say that they were all like, no-name sockets. I'm like, if I bought a whole set of no-name sockets, they wouldn't be much more, if not even less expensive than that. RJ Gaming, whoops, my feed jumped on me. RJ Gaming says, can you view other cities' fireworks?
No.
No.
We can on the TV and the internet.
Yeah, we're in a valley, so we can only... and our fireworks here... So they are going to do fireworks now.
Yes.
But they're not doing them till 10:30 at night.
And it's being sponsored by a company from Helena. I was like...
Who is it?
It's in the paper. I knew he was going to ask me that. Whoa. Peanut butter jelly down. It is from Fireworks from Big Sky Fireworks in Helena.
That's weird.
But you know what? We're grateful that we have fireworks. With everything going on this year, it is something that a lot of people will still be able to enjoy and see from their home, even if they choose not to go down to the fairgrounds or the area where you can see them.
Well, our area where you can see them is closed.
What do you mean?
The park?
There's other areas.
Yeah, there's other areas, but the area where most people would go, which would be like the prime area, is closed.
Yeah. This year's just weird all the way around.
Oh. Fred says the new Bauer brushless, will it be a new line? I don't think it's going to be like a brushless version of everything. I think they'll be coming out with key items in brushless. I think you'll see an impact. I think you'll see a drill driver. You'll see probably a sander, because the stuff where it's really important. Sander, grinder. It'd be great to see probably a circ saw and a recip saw. I know when I saw the new Hercules line, there was a brushless version with Hercules. There was pretty much a brushless version of every key item. Robert says, visit us here in Texas. We'll go to dozens of pawn shops. I'll get a fair amount of stuff, but they're totally sold out of everything right now. And Wallhawk says, what about the Green Hornet? What was his sidekick's name? It was played by Bruce Lee. Kato?
Yes. I think
Bless you.
Bless you.
Headphones fell off.
PT says something earlier about nagging something or other. And Thrall Power says, I've never found a good deal at a pawn shop either. Do people actually buy stuff from them? I don't know.
They do.
I think people do. I don't know if they get good deals, but I think there's always somebody out there who goes out and buys something and goes, well, it was at a pawn shop, so it must be a good deal.
Yeah, I think pawn shops have also changed and evolved. I think for me, when I go to a pawn shop, I think it's really cool to like window shop. But I think also when I look at a tool shop, when I look at a pawn shop, I also see like that's, somebody's dreams or whatever. Because are you making a face because I have peanut butter on my face?
No, I'm just watching you go down this dark, dark road of emotional baggage.
I don't know. It just makes me a little sad that it's somebody's stuff. So.
But she will shop the snot out of some garage sale.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's totally okay.
It's not the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's not the same thing.
How is it not the same thing?
When you take your item to a pawn shop and you pawn it, the idea is you're going to come back and get it, hypothetically.
Just so you know, not everything in a pawn shop was pawned. They also just straight outright buy stuff.
That's true. The stuff I'm looking at, the shinies, like somebody's wedding ring, that's probably pawned.
Or the lady got divorced and she just wanted some cash for it.
That's also true. Not a
Just
habit.
like at a garage sale. Or what about a estate sale? They're dead and you're going through their remains.
Not always.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're just downsizing.
No, the people that are on estate sales are looking for dead people's stuff.
Jenkin, you're not allowed in this conversation.
Oh my gosh. Well, Hawk says, no, Jesse, we would never talk about like you. Talk about you like that. Jeff, however, said,
Yep,
hey now.
I know. And then he read it. Uh-huh.
PT says, I had a pair of Doyle side cutters and they rusted inside the car.
Whoa.
I took them back the other day and the guy says, go get a new pair like that. That's cool.
That's a bummer that it rusted, but it's cool that you got a replacement. Wow. Special Moose says, I've scored a few times at a pawn shop. I bought a Ryobi, Airstrike, brand new for $40. Pack out plus the Gen 3 hammer drill and impact out kit with batteries for $100. That's a pretty good deal. Happy 4th. Den of Tools here with the kids and the grandkids, burgers, hot dogs, and family. God bless America.
Woohoo!
Thank you, Rodney. That is so true.
Oh.
Wahawk says, garage sale, you're getting rid of your crap, but the pawn shop, ...
you're also getting rid of your crap. It's just a different methodology. The Jody says, speaking of pawn shops, the local had a HCCA 15-inch sub for $7.99, and you can get them new on the net for $5.99. Needless to say, have never gone back. Yeah, that's usually what I see. Speaking of which, if you're looking for, like, say, an amplifier, I know somebody who just got a couple. Did you see those amps they pulled in? Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. We have friends who run a local thrift store called Montana Roots, and they do a lot of house cleanouts and stuff like that. And they just a massive haul the other day, and they pulled out some really amazing stuff. And Wilhock says, I may or may not have replaced the 9mm M&P shield I had still a while back, and my impact driver that was stolen. Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
That sucks.
Well, but that's great that you replaced it.
May or may not have replaced it.
Right.
Fred says, I'm looking to buy a Henry 3030 or a Ruger 30-06. I asked him how long the wait is on the background check. 3 days right now. Oh.
Wow.
I'm at... I think I'm at... Two business days. So
I was just say there's like a holiday in there, and like the day before the holiday that's sort of observed as a holiday.
Yeah, it's supposed to be instant.
What?
Shazed says, I want the electric battery powered mini bike that DeWalt showed off a few years back. That'd be pretty cool. I would like that. Remember, you're the reason Jesse drinks. I know. I work hard at that.
Nice.
Jennifer says, Hollow Ice, 7 minutes. Fun. Tell us about the machine. It has a little tray, and it has, I think it's like, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, like 12 fingers. They're about this long. And the tray comes up underneath them, and it fills up with water, so these fingers sit in it. And the has an actual refrigerator component, compressor, and it super chills the fingers, and it forms ice on the outside of them. Then it drains the water away. And then it reverses the refrigeration and heats up the fingers just enough for the ice to fall off. And then it dumps all that into a little bucket inside this insulated container. And then it does it again until it runs out of water in its reservoir, or you turn it off.
Yep.
But it literally can do a whole batch of ice, which is essentially enough to completely fill one of these things. Would you say that's about it? One batch will completely fill one of these?
I think it'll fill more than that, but
Really?
definitely fill that.
In 7 minutes. So it's nice. If we stay on top of it during the day, we will run it and then take bags of it, because the machine itself doesn't refrigerate. So the ice will melt.
Right.
It will melt back into the reservoir and get made into ice again, but that's using electricity.
Yep.
So what we try to do is we try to remember to run it, bag the ice, and throw it in the freezer, so then we have stockpiles of ice. But then we go through that and we forget and stuff. But I think where it really kicks butt is if you don't have a lot of room in your freezer, you don't have an ice maker in your freezer. I hate dealing with ice trays. And like if you're having a party or you're having friends over or something like that, you can just sit it out there and have it just constantly making ice. It's great. Oh, excuse me. Autobahn Dan is in the house.
Hey!
Happy 4th of July. Woohoo!
Aww.
Hey, if you're on Instagram, you got to check out his Instagram stream.
Yes.
He's got a great Instagram stream. Also, if you're on Instagram, you can check out my stream. I actually posted a picture of how bad yesterday was. Oh, hope you have a strong stomach.
Autobahn Dan, thank you for joining us tonight, and thank you for the super chat. I just realized I feel so out of place without the stickers behind us.
Oh, yeah.
3, 2, 1. Ding, 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 ding. Thank you.
And Dan, are you going to SEMA this year? Did you register? It's in November, I think.
November? Yep.
So I'm definitely going to be back in Vegas in November to do SEMA again. So be cool to see you if you're going to be in town.
Yeah.
And let's see here. where was I? I was just forgot where I was. Echo Belkin saying, hello, happy 4th of July. Ooh, grilled peanut butter and jelly.
Yep.
So good. And where to go there? Throttle Power, peanut butter and jelly, the all-American sandwich. It's kind of a staple around here.
It's true.
And Fred Hill says, remember Airplane? About he needs to stop drinking. He has a drinking problem. Every time someone says they have a drinking problem, I think of that. And then I think about, what is it? Shirley, you're kidding. I'm not kidding. Stop calling me Shirley.
Aww. Sorry.
Guy YouTuber says, are you streaming tomorrow? We had planned to be streaming tomorrow. It might be cut a little bit short because we're supposed to have some people come in town. So we have to figure out, haven't got final confirmation as when their plane's landing. That's kind of the problem. So I plan to stream at least some tomorrow. And AM or PM?
PM.
Okay. Well, that's
So
gonna
we will be streaming, but it might not be the full.
It's not going to be the full. It can't if that's the schedule.
We'll talk.
Okay. Any recommendation on snap ring pliers? It depends on how often you use them. I don't use snap ring pliers like all the time. And so I am just fine with like the Quinn style of snap ring pliers where you've got the different nibs that you put in it for the different sizes, but it's the same plier. If you use them all the time, then you want to go something that's more dedicated where it has a specific plier for every size, something like the whatchamacallit, the Icon ones. In fact, I was talking about these earlier today. I think they're still on sale. It was SK, I thought, had some snap ring pliers on sale. Yeah, let me check real quick. They do. So if you go to SK, they've got some snap ring pliers on sale. But the sale there is a...
Yeah. People have different levels of
But I'll put a link
affordability
in here for that if you're interested in that level. But I use the Quinn ones. I think they work great. Automan Dan says, not sure about SEMA yet. Well, you should register because they got registration open. I would do the registration right now, and that way you can, decide later if you're going to go or not. But at least you'll have your pass set up. And
PT is saying the audio is out of sync with video.
probably need to refresh on your side. Usually that's a streaming issue on YouTube's side. That's not something we can really change over here.
Shaka, $2 super chat says, truth takes no days off. Ryobi is trash. I love it. I hope that you're having a really great 4th of July, Shaka. And I know that you are bringing the truth every day. I would like to remind you what time it is, my love. Oh, apparently my phone's reminding me.
What is going on here?
It is 7 o'clock.
Sorry, my microphone's having issues. It's 7 o'clock. Gotta rock. It means it's time for you. Yes, you. Get your own little pointy thing. That's my thing. Don't you make me.
You're not the boss.
Anyway, it's time where you can adopt your very own mod. The Adopt a Mod program here at the old Den of Tools is where we encourage you to check out some of the other channels around YouTube, specifically our
Labradog.
Our Labradog, who's like, oh, it's clearly time to play Fetch the Fox. Come here. Ah.
Good luck.
Oh, it's so soggy.
Oh, gosh, that's really gross.
Anyway, we try to encourage people to check out other channels, specifically our moderators channels, because if you like the content that we do here, the moderators here, that's everyone with the cobalt blue wrench behind their name, they are kind enough to spend their time on like the 4th of July and Sunday nights and all sorts of other times to come out and help moderate the channel and be participatory, help keep the conversation going, help answer questions before we get them, help banhammer some trolls, and do all sorts of great stuff. But also, many of them are creators in their own right. Of course, we got Joe Smith and Friends, our moderator number one, with his great Joe Smith After Dark every Friday. Fred Hill, Shadow's Edge, Echo Belkin, Audubon Dan. He probably does more stuff on Instagram. I know he's trying to build up the YouTube thing. Does a lot of stuff on Instagram. But check him out. They've got a lot of great channels. So I encourage you right now, pick one of the mods at random or based on whatever criteria you decide, and head over to their channel. Also, if you're a mod and you got a channel, put a link in down below. Make it easier for them to find your stuff. And hopefully then you'll find something new. Go over and give them a like, leave a comment, and maybe you can consider subscribing. Maybe you'll find some great new comments or content. Also, I want to say huge thank you to everyone who supports the channel with the Super Chats. You guys are fantastic. The support you guys lend us each and every week is just always amazing and super appreciated. And especially the people who choose to become monthly supporters. That's the members. That's everyone you see with the little bear behind their name. They are monthly supporters of the channel. And it's kind of like Patreon, but for YouTube. So you can, if you're interested in that, there's a link down below. I'm not going to go into that. But anyway, thank you so much for all the support you guys give us. It's fantastic. It makes us feel truly, truly blessed. Yep. Anything you wanted to add?
Just that you guys make our community great, and it's awesome when you go and check each other out. Even if you just randomly pick somebody. I know that I have done that a few times where I just say, oh, there's so-and-so. I'm going to go check them out. And I would say almost always there's really interesting content. And it's a great way to give each other feedback and say hey, I really loved your blah, blah video, or when are you going to do whatever. So thank you for being part of our community, and thank you for everything you guys bring.
Speaking of being part of the community, anytime you have a suggestion for a YouTube video, feel free to shoot me an email at red@denatools.com. Just let me know if you've got an idea, something you'd like to see. I'm always open looking for other great ideas. Let's see here. And now back to the show.
Javier Estrada with the $5 super chat says, sorry I'm late. No need to be sorry, but thank you for the super chat, and thank you for spending part of your 4th of July with us. So 3, 2, 1, bing, 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 bing. And I also saw a message earlier from Steven saying Ricky now does the bing bings with us. Barbecue 76 with a $5 super chat. It says, flock of seagulls, California fireworks. I get safe and scanned.
Safe and sane and all that. But when you spend $50 on a blankety blank sparkler, it should at least blankety blank sparkle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was it made from vampires?
I have to say the last few times that I've seen a sparkler, it's either been at one extreme or the other. Mm-hmm. One where I thought it was going to melt my face off and perhaps melt through the core of the earth. Or it looks like there's 4 sparks and then it's dead. So I am super sorry that you are experiencing that. That stinks.
Eric says, what kind of internet does... That's the abbreviation for Minnesota, but I think you mean Montana. Stop licking me. Stop it. You're a good hound. Do you go outside? Go talk to the boy child. You go outside? Have you had dinner?
She has had dinner.
Okay.
She would like to go outside.
What kind of internet do they have in Montana that goes out in the rain, i.e. last Sunday's stream? We've got directional Wi-Fi. And so we've got a little small antenna on ours that goes across the valley to the home office repeater or whatever. So when it gets really bad, it can interrupt signal. And if the signal gets too low, YouTube goes, you're done, cuts us off. Special Moose says, I've scored a few times at the pawn shops. Okay, we read that one. Rodney says, happy 4th den here with the grandkids and burgers and hot dogs and family. God bless America. Truly, God bless America. And the Fred says, have you been to Mount Rushmore? Yes, I've been to Mount Rushmore twice. I went once when I was 12, and then 4 years ago we took the whole family. we took the RV and we drove from Vegas. We drove up through Utah and through Colorado. So we spent time in Utah. We spent time in Colorado. Went through Wyoming. We spent some time in Nebraska, and then we spent a week in South Dakota in the Black Hills. It was just absolutely fabulous. Just one of our favorite places to go. I've actually been trying to talk the wife. I actually want to go to Sturgis this year, trying to talk her into that. But I love, and the kids love going there. They thought it was beautiful and it was amazing. So it's one of those places you have to go. You sit there, when you see it for yourself, it's like it's real. I can't believe you see it in pictures all your life, and then when you see it for yourself, it's one of the things that's so amazing. You can't believe it's real. And what was the other thought? He says that's another state we maybe look at moving to. I've bought 2 broomsticks at pawn shops. The South Dakota is an interesting state. They've got that. They've got the Badlands. It's I just can't say enough about how beautiful the Black Hills area is. Eastern, the rest of South Dakota, not my favorite. I like North Dakota. I think North Dakota is gorgeous. But again, winter. Oh, so cold. The Wilhock says, that's the one we were talked about. And Frank says, I have bought individual open, closed, and wrenches at pawn shops for my brewing equipment. It's a decent place to pick up one-off kind of stuff. I can see that. Jennifer says, by the time something for sale at a pawn shop, it's way past redemption. Also, they just buy stuff. Yeah. See?
Yeah, that's true. I brought you some ice.
Oh, she got ice. See? More ice.
I just realized I didn't bring any soda, but that's
the one thing about
matter.
the ice, and the reason it's white like this, is because it freezes so quickly, and as such, it's not structurally. So I can just crush it with my fingers. Structurally, it's not the strongest stuff, so it's not really hard ice. It's going to stay frozen for a long time. So if that's a problem for you, but if you're somebody who likes to chew on your ice, it's fabulous for that.
As in me, of course.
Michael Kennefic says, can you go to Sturgis without a motorcycle? Yes. I have done it several times.
Yes. Yes, you can.
Yes.
We were, in fact, when we were in that area last time, it was the week of Sturgis, and we were in our RV. And there's lots of people who go without a motorcycle. There's plenty of places to buy a motorcycle. There was a parking lot the size of Sears that was handlebar to handlebar, a sea of for sale motorcycles. That's all it was.
Yep. Yep.
Dude, I'm going to buy a motorcycle this year.
No.
Okay, so here's my plan.
Okay. You guys can all just read. So hold my beer as he explains the story.
Straight up. There is going to be an auction here, a local auction for it's all the cars that got repoed, or not repoed, towed and abandoned. They're impounded car auction.
I'm just going to say, if
impounded
you
vehicle
explain
auction.
your plan, it becomes available to everyone that has the internet.
Oh, I will find you if you ruin my plan. So here's the plan. The impounded vehicle auction has they have a bunch of stuff. There is a '69 Mustang on there. I can't believe that's going up for sale.
Wait, what?
Yeah, but there's also a full-size, totally enclosed Harley Davidson trailer going up for sale. It's not in tip-top shape. It's not. The graphics are starting to peel off, but it's in pretty good shape, and you can put new graphics on it. And it's a Harley Davidson. You can still tell it's a Harley Davidson trailer. My hope is get it for cheap, drive it to Sturgis, and trade it for a motorcycle. It seems like a rational, well thought out plan, don't you think?
Yes.
I agree with
I think so. That's not, harebrained scheme at all. This is strategic thinking here. Don't even give me that look. All right.
I'm giving you the eyeball.
In the words of Shaka, hallowed be his name. Ryobi is straight up garbage. Woolhawk would like to comment. And Robert Adams says, M12 ratchet, impact driver, battery charger, $35, $8 for new case for the ratchet, and looks like new. Wow, that's a great deal. So here's the thing about, this is what I really need to talk to some people about, which is how useful are those electric ratchets? Because they don't really have breakaway power. Now they do have the new impact wrenches, or impact ratchets, I should call them, and those look pretty cool. But the other ones are not impact. You pretty much have to break them by hand, and then all it's doing is spinning the nut off or on for you. I guess they seem like more of a nice to have rather than something you need. Woolhawk says, here in Iowa, I may or may not have taken longer to go back in and out of the store to possibly purchase said 9mm.
I saw that.
And Fred says, for the month of June, 2020 has broke all records for broomstick sales, 3.9 million. Yes, and that's what I've been hearing is there's just been a massive surge of background checks, and it's flooding the system. And let's see here. Now Ricky's doing the bings. Mike Adams says, howdy, y'all listening while setting off fireworks with my niece. That's pretty cool.
Aww.
And
We hope you guys have fun.
Woolhawk says, I picked a hell of a week to stop drinking. I picked a hell of a week to stop sniffing glue.
Hey, you're making progress, okay?
It's-
We really support that.
It's a line from Airplane.
I'm going along with.
Uh-huh. And Audubon Dan says, there's nothing left to burn in California, so it should be safe. That's good sound thinking. Guy YouTuber says, my dad is looking for an affordable impact wrench. Is your dad looking for hobby stuff or for professional use? Because affordable is a variable spectrum there. Fred says, lucky if SEMA will be held at all. That's true.
Yeah.
Here's what I can't wait to see. All the booth babes wearing masks.
You mean like totally hermetically sealed and...
That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
I would do a video just on that. What do you want? You want to come up and say hi? Come here. Yeah, come over here. Come up.
She's not
Come here. Come here. Say hi. Hi. Oh, look. Did you bring your toy? Look at that. You brought your toy. You're a good princess. Princess Hound here would like to say hello and happy birthday to the nation and everyone. Hi. Yeah. Maybe being a good Labrador.
Yes.
Are the fireworks being all scary? Are they terrifying for you?
She's like, they're really
Are
loud.
they really?
Although I have to say, I think Murray might be more scared of fireworks
Yeah,
than
he's
Bella.
not a fan of fireworks.
He's not.
This has got to be the slobberiest
Okay,
toy.
please do not.
How much you can pay me not to?
And then Father
No.
died.
I don't think that you guys can hear all... Really? No. He will not be joining us tomorrow for the live stream. He's going to be in timeout in the corner.
Wow.
Speaking of that, has anyone seen Jay? I hope Jay's having a great 4th of July.
Let's see here. Cherry's DM Ice is very true. Most often, I just use needle nose to pry off the snap ring.
I saw Big Mother.
I do that a lot. Let's see here. Chaka has spoken of it, therefore it shall be. Special Moose says Cobalt XTR worth upgrading over non-XTR tools. If you already have that, unless you're in the XTR line, or if you're already in the Cobalt line, I'm sorry, and you already have the batteries, I could see upgrading to those. They're great tools. I don't know if the tools you have work. I know tool guys, we always have that urge, like, I gotta get the next thing. I'm bad about that myself. But is it worth it? I don't know if I'd say it's worth it. It's fulfilling. It feels good to buy them, but I might wait a while for them to come have some real sale prices on them. Because right now, they're getting so much press, so much coverage on those. They have limited supply. I don't see them going on sale anytime soon. Lied to him, man.
$5 super chat for the buzzing flies. 3, 2,
Excuse me.
1. Bing, 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 bing.
You know what we should do? We should just create a college fund for the Cubs for when I'm gone. When I've gone too far and I get taken out.
Yeah.
At least there'll be something.
Be like
take care of
20% of each super chat is gonna go to. And I know that I'm not 100% tonight, guys. I really do know that. But I'm really glad that we are all together for the 4th of July, and I hope that you guys will forgive me for being a little not myself.
Stephen comments it's not a stream unless Chaka gives their viewpoints on Ryobi. Michael Chesney is in the house. Hey kids, nice to see you live and direct again. It's good to be back. Cherry's DIY says LOL. Boohawk says Jeff, you're the reason the Labrador drinks. More like the reason she licks everything. Mater's Workshop says don't stick your finger in my face. I haven't been fed yet. And Trolley for Dollar says please maintain your social distancing from me. Speaking of which, if you are mandated to, let's say here, you've got to wear a mask.
Yes.
I have got a solution for you, if I can find it. If you haven't seen it yet, we've got coming down the pipe. Let me see here. And let me reset the transformation on this. Boom. How you like that? You can have your very own DeBear face mask. Look at that. See if too bad I don't have a transparent version of this. That would be pretty cool. Come on, scale with me. The scaling on this program is jacked up. There we go. It's about that big. Put it right there. It's close. Anyway, so if you're interested, we had these.
You have to wear one, and you're allowed to have a little bit of a sense of humor about it.
Yeah, show them your inner tool bear. Unfortunately, I don't set the pricing on this. This is something that's offered by Teespring. They're the guys who are partnered with YouTube, so they set the pricing on it. But anyway, yes. if it is something that you want to do, I already ordered one for myself, so.
Which I will promptly steal when it arrives.
She will, because that's the kind of woman I'm married to.
That's right. Be like, oh, that's shiny. Oh, that looks nice. That's mine.
We'll put it down there.
Ed the Old Tech Guy says, woot woot, awesome mask. I love it.
For anybody who's interested in that. Anyway, I put a link to it in the thing. No pressure. If you're interested, I get it. I think it's like $20 with shipping.
I think with shipping, it comes out to be about $20. And again, we don't get to set it. Otherwise, we would make it.
Let me just double check.
More affordable.
Great! My link says that it's bad.
It's broken.
Oh, never mind. Let me see if I can find the good link to it. What's wrong with my link? Here, I'll put a new link. Come on. You can do it. There we go. All right. Yeah, it's $15. Let's see if you add it to cart.
And I think shipping's like $4.99.
Did you look at it?
Mm-hmm. But it was weird because I had trouble figuring out the shipping. Like you had to like jump through it.
It's $5 for shipping, and then for one item. If you order a second one, it's $2.
Oh, I wish I'd.
I'm like, you can put it in an envelope and ship it. Why is it $5 for shipping?
Yeah.
Because it's handling. Anyway, back to the matters. At Paul, as it were.
At Paul.
At Paul. It's about hand, at Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Where was I? No stream. I see you. Fred says, did you see my post about broomsticks sale for June? We broke an all-time record for broomstick sales. I did.
Yes.
I did. Sorry, it took me a bit to get to it. But yeah, I do know. I've had several friends on the more liberal side of the spectrum, people who, it was usually a case where they kind of wanted to have a firearm in the house, but the significant other did not.
Well, if you don't know anything about it, I think it's scary. To
Yes,
people.
the unknown can be quite scary. Which is why we should have firearms training in school. And but anyway, when this whole craziness started, they reached out to me and asked if they could borrow some stuff. And I had one friend. I'm like, you've never really used a firearm. I'm not going to loan you anything. But I loaned her my Warhammer.
Yes.
If you guys don't know, this is a legit copy of an old English Warhammer. It's 3, almost 4 feet long.
Incredibly heavy.
With a waffle end on one side and a giant spike on the other. So, and it will put the fear of God in you if you're on the wrong end of it. So that's more appropriate for somebody like that. But yeah, lots of people, a lot of fence setters going, I think I'm going to buy a gun. Like, good for you. Jeff Toohey's in the house.
Hey, happy 4th of July.
Happy Independence Day from Bozeman. Getting ready to round up the cat, put earplugs in the horses. Oh, yeah. You guys doing stuff out on, are you going somewhere? Are you doing stuff out at your place or whatnot? I'm guessing that would not be a choice place to let that kind of stuff off. A lot of flammable hay and whatnot out there. And let's see here. Guy says, is Ryobi good? Because this guy used a Ryobi sander for 16 years. Ryobi is not bad if you treat the tools well. Like, I know guys, speaking of SEMA, I know guys who do $1 million Ferrari builds or Lamborghini builds, and they use Ryobi power tools all the time. I know a lot of guys who work in the aircraft industry and small plane kind of stuff, private planes, private jets, and they use all Ryobi. My next door neighbor, his dad, he's a high-level Finnish carpenter. He uses Ryobi tools. The lower-end Ryobi stuff is junk. It really is. But some of the medium and higher-end Ryobi stuff, I know, Chaka, I'm sorry. I know I'm going against, the codex of truth, but some of it is not bad.
I'm going to read one out of sequence.
No.
Mike Adams is saying, is there any companies that sell nitrile 7 to 9 millimeter gloves small enough to fit a 10-year-old girl's hand? Small is still a little big for my niece. Extra small, and Harbor Freight sells them, I believe. Yes,
because our youngest, who is on the Munchkin side of things, is he runs a poop pickup business, and that's what he uses. That's his hand protection of choice.
Yes. So they are available. I know it's hard to get a hold of gloves just in general in some places still, but I would think extra small would be a size that would probably be more available than the others.
Sorry, dog.
And I also have to say that on occasion I have had to put my hands
I had to use one time, and I was able very carefully to get it to stretch and to fit.
So I would just look around and see if you can find an extra small. And if you're still having trouble, I will see what I can do. Mike, if you send me an email to Mrs. DeBear at dentiftools.com.
Sorry, the dog
correct?
Is crazy. Mrs. DeBear at Dentals, yes.
Yep.
Echo comments that Cedar Point is not even opening their water park. That is disgusting, dog. That is the slobberiest toy ever.
Okay.
That sucks. I love Cedar Point's water park. I haven't been there.
I don't want that toy.
In
you
20
need a different
years.
Toy. Go get a different one. Where's your other fox? She's like, but that's the delicious. I know where the fox is. I don't want her to use that one.
Is that just the head of it?
No, it's crumpled up.
Oh, is that the one that's all slimy?
Yes.
Oh.
Hence why I wanted her to get a different fox.
That's so nasty. Anyway, you keep reading it. I'm going to be right back.
Okay. Shadow's Edge says, have you considered making a shirt that reads, talk to the claw? LOL. That's pretty funny. PT says they used to do marksmanship in school. I have my mom's marksman pins. That's really cool. First of all, that you have them and they were your mom's, and second of all, that they used to offer them. Jennifer White Wolf says gear wrench, 2012D, rotate handle to open, close the jaws. It will hold them open. Slow close as you turn. Cool. Wahawk says, after Columbine, the now ex-wife demanded I get rid of my broomsticks or banish them to the garage. She was told she would have to live in the garage before my broomsticks. Her dad agreed. Well, you know, it's sometimes, you know, people are just, like I said before, they're afraid of the unknown. Also, not everyone should be a broomstick owner. There are lots of people who it would be dangerous if they did because they are not able to or willing to take on that responsibility, and that's okay.
Why are we all so mad about broomsticks? They're just sweet.
L. Michael says, buying the arm is the easy part. Learning how to use it properly and legally is critical. TV levels of arms handling is a poor joke. That is correct. Just like anything. If you tried to bake a cake and watch somebody do it on TV, you probably would not come out with a great cake. Rock and Roller Man says, best, cheapest, deep impact, thin wall sockets. So I will write your name down so that I don't forget, and we'll come back. Rock and Roller Man. Guy YouTuber says, is Bauer good? I have to wait for all the tool ones till Jeff is back because he will have his 27 cents to tell you about it. Wahawk says, after said ex-wife remarried, she got a hand broomstick. She left her target out for me to see as warning. Let's just say I had nothing to fear. Maybe she got better. Blind Tool Man says, what is a broomstick?
I don't know. I was asking. Pew pew.
Yeah, it's pew pew. YouTube doesn't like us to talk about it a ton, so we try not to. Robert Adams says, Harbor Freight here has large gloves in stock of multiple thicknesses. Bought 2 boxes yesterday. That is really cool because the larger gloves are harder to locate. Jennifer White Wolf says, did you guys get the corn chowder recipe by email? Yes, I did. And I have been sick most of the week. And I have gotten like different ingredients, but I don't have all of them. I want to say I have most of them. So yes, Jennifer White Wolf, thank you again for sending the corn chowder recipe. I plan to make it very soon. Steven says, I really want to get back to Cedar Point at some point. Point. Nice. What?
Did you tell them our plan about cooking cookbooks?
No, I did not.
You're welcome.
Thank you for bringing
Show
the
them
ice.
first before you.
I have to show them the ice. Didn't
Yes,
you
this
just?
is the recent latest batch out of the machine,
Thank goodness you showed them the ice.
so they can see about how it's producing. And oh my gosh, see what I have.
That's
This is
right.
what I have to put up with.
Well, everybody knows who the diva is on the show. I love you, baby. Before I forget, there was Rock and Roller Man had a question. Also, Blind Tool Man was asking what all the broomstick discussion was about.
We like to keep clean shops.
That's right.
There's 2 camps. A lot of people get kind of pissy about it. I always love it. It's always people who don't have channels who get pissy about it, who don't have any skin in the game. Like, you shouldn't have to. You know, you shouldn't bow to them. You should stand up to them. I'm like, I don't see you with a channel standing up to them. And
Sorry.
and there's more than one way to stand up to the man. And so we get to play a game here called YouTube, and YouTube gets to make the rules. We have to play by those rules. They like to mess with certain channels who show certain items, certain content. So it's an evolution of the term boomstick to broomstick. Because if you take it 1 degree, if you see the GUN word, it instantly triggers because YouTube now has voice recognition programs because it generates what do you call it? Closed caption automatically. Well, it then uses that and screens words to figure out what kind of content you have. So if it sees it showing up too much, it goes ha 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 ha, and decides to put you in the not cool kids group, which means your programs don't get promoted as much, you don't get seen as much, any of that stuff. And then I get people giving me crap. It's what I find is hilarious. I get a lot of people giving me crap saying that because I use terms like broomstick and whatnot. But then they never talk about any of the other tool channels who never even talk about the subject, who completely avoid it. And I'm like, you're not getting pissy with them, and they just hide from it entirely. I'm at least doing what I consider to be a rebel offensive, the behind enemy lines, spraying V on the Nazi poster kind of thing, Vive la Resistance kind of thing. We're standing up, we're fighting against the fight, but when confronted, you fade into the background so you can live to fight another day. Channel gets taken down, then, we've lost that fight.
Rock and Roller Man says, best, cheapest, deep impact, thin wall sockets.
Thin wall. Mm-hmm. Deep impact thin walls. Boy, you got me on that one. Okay. Confession time. I don't do enough work where I'm going to be like, I need thin wall impacts. If I need to use an impact on something that a regular impact won't fit in, I'll use my chrome sockets for that. And yes, it's running a terrible, terrible risk. I'll be honest, I have had multiple discussions with not just the people who sell this stuff, but the guys who have the engineering degrees who design impact sockets. And I have sat down with them face to face and said, why do we have 2 types of sockets? And the answer I get every time is, well, there is no clear, concise reason. Apparently, the metallurgical strength behind an impact and a chrome is essentially the same thing. Chrome just has the finished chrome on the outside rather than the blackened finish you see on the impacts. The difference typically is the impact has a thicker wall. Well, if you go to a thin-walled impact, it's essentially the same as a chrome.
So Shadow's Edge posted a link for the extra small nitrile gloves.
Oh,
so
thank
you, Shadow's Edge. You were a rock star.
Fred Hill says sparklers burn above 250 degrees Fahrenheit. I think he means more than 250. They burn super hot.
He says burn above.
Yeah. In fact, and what you can do is you get a bunch of sparklers and you bundle them together. I did that one time in our backyard. I took a large wide mouth mason jar and I stuffed as many sparklers in it as I could. And then one sparkler on top act as a wick, lit another sparkler, lit that sparkler, then got away from it. And it was like a flare grenade kind of thing going off. And it slagged the glass. It was intense. Heat as well as optically speaking. And Shazad said, you sure you visited Wyoming? I've been told it didn't really exist. Yeah. We went through Cheyenne, and that's about it. Ralph Smith says, best sparkler I ever purchased was called a Morning Glory. It does several different colors. It's parks. It's got a wooden base, stairs, steel, so you don't burn your hand.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Going back to who was it that just talked about Wyoming?
Hold it. Eastern Shadow's Edge. Fred says Eastern South Dakota is really North Kansas. I think isn't that more Western Nebraska? I don't know. But because that's what we went from Colorado. Well, for you guys to be backwards, wouldn't it be Colorado, Cheyenne, over into Nebraska. And, man, Wyoming. Or not Wyoming, Kansas. Western Kansas, man. You can see the curvature of the earth there.
Shadow's Edge, you were joking about people not believing Wyoming exists. My mother's from Delaware. It is only slightly smaller than, or slightly bigger than Rhode Island, right? And so people are, they don't believe it's even a state. So
I think it's a rest stop on the highway.
it's like we joke that don't blink your eyes or you'll miss it completely.
High Hound. Oh, someone needs loving. Yeah.
Barbecue 76 had a super chat that
Is it warm in here?
a little bit.
Because I was feeling warm. I just felt her ears. Her ears feel super. Oh my gosh, dog. Hi. See, I'm getting mugged over here.
Do you want to see if she wants an ice cube? She almost never wants one.
Did you want to say hi?
If she's really
You want
hot,
an ice
maybe she'll
cube?
want one.
Do you want one? Do you want one?
She's like, I'm going to lick around
No,
it.
she doesn't want the ice cube.
Not in my, thank you. So Barbecue 76.
I'm not your personal salt lick.
She says,
Stop it.
actually, you are.
Stop it.
She says, you're delicious.
You heard me. I know you did.
Barbecue 76 with a $2.76 super chat. It says, Happy 4th, Bears.
Come on.
So I am really sorry. Jeff was gone for a little bit, and then when he came back, then Bella's butt pushed me out of the way. Anyways, thank you so much. 3, 2, 1. Bing, 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 bing. And 1 Labradog. Oh,
You want to fight?
oh my gosh.
You think you can take me? Can you?
Oh, she just wants to love on you.
Oh. She gets in these moods where she's like, I need to love you in the face right now.
Yep.
Look
Oh
at
my
me.
gosh.
I am covered in dog slobber.
Oh, Robert. No. Robert Adams was born in Dover, Delaware. That is
Ooh.
awesome.
Cheers
Cheers.
with my invasive species mug.
Well, and then Barbecue 76 did another super chat for $5.76. And he says, not to be political, but the fact
I forgot how bad that is.
you are a goober.
I'm an idiot.
The fact that you have to say broomstick and explain why you say that only goes to show how one-sided things have become.
Yep.
With a very angry face. Very true. So thank you again for the super chat and also for, the thoughtful message.
I mean, people, they're going to open mind us to death.
3, 2, 1. Bing, 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 bing. Bing, bing. I can't help it tonight. I don't know what my problem
All right,
is.
I got to catch up here. I'm way behind.
Mm-hmm.
Eric says, Dead Horse, Alaska is the best place to buy scooters I've ever seen. People drive all the way up there, all the way up to Dawson Highway and don't want to go back. That sounds like a great idea. Fred Hill says, remember when AMC owned Harley Davidson and Jeep? I had an AMC Jeep. I actually rather liked it. Blind Tillman says, Wile E. Coyote had it well enough. Had a well thought out plan, right, Jeff? It's Wile E. Coyote. Super genius. I like the sound of it. I like the way it rolls off the tongue. Wile E. Coyote. Yes. What's your favorite 4th of July movie and you can't say Dune? Boy, that's probably Patriot. I love Patriot, and it's not really a 4th of July movie, but it's an American independence kind of movie. And I like Mel Gibson, and I think it's a fabulous movie. And Jody says, I get the M12 impact ratchet from videos. I've seen it will be way more handier than just the ratchet. Here's the other thing I want to point out. Have you noticed that that thing got released, and just as it's getting released, a whole bunch of people released videos of it the same day? For those of us who've done videos, you don't go get something, test it, review it, and shoot a video and edit it and upload it in the same day. Doesn't happen. Same thing happens with like that M12 radio that came out. And you'll see a dozen or so channels. And it's odd because it's clear that Milwaukee's sending these out. And I have yet to see one channel say, oh, by the way, and this was provided to me by Milwaukee. And yet I say that, oh, yeah, so-and-so sent me this. And I get people from those channels coming to me going, well, you're a shill. And, because there's other channels, they never take stuff for free. I'm like, oh, yeah, they got it a day before it was released. How do you think that happened? Anyway, sorry. Just a little bitter about stupid people. And people who essentially cheat the system. And let's see here. Mike says my niece, oh, that's the one you read, isn't it? My niece came in and asked who I was listening to. I told her, and she said, Jessie always has something on her head.
That's right. Happy 4th of July.
It's the point where she feels naked if she doesn't.
It's also to the point where I wear it outside and forget I have it on. And then someone will say something or look at me like I have 4 heads, or I will make some small child smile, and then my day is complete.
Fred says, I've been to Crazy Horse twice. It's funny you say that. So we were in Billings, and we went around a corner, came up to a bank, and the bank was Little Bighorn Bank. And I'm like, oh, I forgot that we're in eastern Montana. And Ralph says, yeah, it'd be great if they're all wearing, you're looking around at the young girls wearing a bear. Okay. Guy YouTuber says he's looking for an impact wrench to work on his car. For personal use, the Bauer is a good, inexpensive, basic impact wrench. The Ryobi is a good, inexpensive. The Bauer, the Ryobi, the Cobalt is going to be a little bit more. It's fabulous. It's really, really good. If you really want to get serious with it, then you're going to be spending a lot more money. But those are probably the 3 best, DIY/prosumer.
Sorry, Barbecue 76. Please tell your wife I'm sorry.
What happened?
I've been binging.
Binging again for me. My bill will be sent.
I think his wife is going to strangle
I think so too.
I'm really sorry.
Apparently, it aggravates Barbecue 76's wife the way she goes bonkers with the bell.
I'm really sorry. Really sorry. So, Barbecue 76 and Mrs. Barbecue's, I'm not ringing it. Thank you. No, you're not. But I will ring it for Eric.
Oh, yeah. Barbecue 76 better turn off because Eric says 1776. Very nice, sir. Well done.
Well played. Well played.
For the meth Labrador. And the joke is, of course, some people have black labs. Some people have chocolate labs. Vanilla labs. We've got a meth lab. As you've noticed, I'm still trying to get the fur and the slobber off my shirt.
I really feel like if, the government is listening to our channel, they're going to be like, what's going on? Anyways, thank you so much for the super chat, and Bella is all tuckered out right now, but she appreciates it as well. 3, 2, 1. Bing, bada, ding, 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 ding. Bada, ding, 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 ding. Thank you so much, and I hope that you are having a happy 4th.
Shadow's Edge says all the booth babes with a face mask would look like Kitiana, whatever her name is, from Mortal Kombat. And that's very enjoyable. It would be interesting. All the high heels and the slinky dresses with the face mask. It would be a tad bit creepy, if you ask me.
I think it would definitely be creepy.
Fun says, Fred Hill, have they made much progress? Was there last, in 2003? I thought it was finished. Are they still working on that? I think he's talking about the Crazy Horse memorial. And Barbecue 76 says, that is all until I speak again.
That's right.
We got a drink. He's got a rocks glass and a beer mug. I'm kind of mixing the two because I've got liquor in a beer mug. So I'm mixing my metaphors, as it were. Yeah. I've got really bad rum in here. And I'm drinking it because I keep forgetting to go to the store when it's open. And I was like, oh, I'll go today. Still getting used to the state-run liquor store BS. Yeah. That's closed right when you want them to be open.
We totally understand, Echo. Go have a great time. It says the fireworks are starting. Blind Toolman says, I see your meth lab.
Fingernail polish remover I've ever had. You okay over there?
Nope. He made me choke. Blind Tool Man says, I see your meth lab and I raise you a blind lab.
Oh.
You're hilarious.
Do you have the bottle of soda?
No, because there isn't any.
We're out of soda?
No, you left it in there. You
Oh, I'll say you bought every soda the store had the other day. They were having a huge sale on soda, like a ridiculous sale. So she ordered.
I special ordered it, but I didn't take all the soda.
She special ordered 40 bottles. See, it sounds crazy, but when you do that, when you know you're going to spend this money anyway, like I know somebody locally who's got a small ranch, and they took one of their, honestly, I think it was a tank for spraying, but it hooks up to a trailer hitch, and I think it's something like 500 gallons. And when gas dropped to, I think it got as low as like $1.47 for one day, he went down to the gas station and he filled that thing up. And he's like, I threw a bottle of Stable in it, and he's like, I'm going to use that, all summer. And he is, and that's what he's using back off his ranch. And he's like, I do that all the time because when it gets low, I just buy a ton of it, and then I use it when it's more expensive. And that's how you bank money. It's a great way to do things if you've got the space, the capability, and whatnot. Ed the Old Tech Guy says, awesome mask. I love it. Thank you, sir. Straps or ties for the mask. It's got the elastic straps. Mater's Workshop says, I have the Cobalt 24-volt tools. I'm looking to get the half-inch drive impact. Is the Cobalt XTR worth the extra money? That's a personal choice. I think you'll do just fine with the standard impact. I know guys who have used it in a professional setting for years and been just fine. Will you get use out of the extra one? I'm sure it will probably last you even longer, work even better. The question is that extra performance? It's going to be a nice to have, not a must have kind of thing. And I'll be honest, at the end of the day, you could put a lot of torque on something with an impact wrench, but a 10-foot breaker bar kind of tops it all. And, the batteries never run out on that. What if Harbor Freight bought Craftsman? That would turn the tool world upside down for sure. I'll tell you what, I have been, and maybe we should start a campaign, because I want to see SK come out with a mid-range set of tools. They've made some inexpensive tools, like super inexpensive stuff, through Western Forge. I want to see them come out with a middle-of-the-road tool line that's going to compete with all the other people like Tekton and Gear Wrench and everybody else. Because Gear Wrench came out with a middle-of-the-road line of tools. And I would love to see SK do this and become literally the new made-in-America Craftsman. You don't have to have the Craftsman name. Just follow it up with the same kind of warranty, the same kind of service, the same kind of quality, at an affordable, doesn't have to be cheap, just has to be reasonably affordable price. I don't know. Anyway, I was telling the wife, if I won the lottery, I might do just that. If I came into like $100 million, I would probably start doing that. Start producing wrenches and then ratchets and stuff, and go for that Craftsman style of tool. Hi, yes, you've got your toy. I'm talking to the dog. And Wallhawk says, Jesse, you're the reason Jeff drinks. No, the dog's the reason I drink. She drives me to drinking. Fred Hill says, as long as you get some money. I'm all for that. I think we should all get money. I think it's a wonderful idea.
We're getting money?
Apparently so. Money? I don't know, but apparently...
Is somebody making money?
We could just print our own,
That's illegal, but you should send it to me so that I can review it.
Illegal is such a tenuous concept. Robert says, might order one since we have to wear them everywhere now. I really wanted the P47 shark mouth one. That would be cool. I could see that. Mike says, is there any company that sells... We talked about the nitrile gloves. Barbecue 70 says, 6:22 p.m., just in case you're wondering.
Oh.
So I'm guessing it's 7:22, which means I'm about half an hour behind.
Speaking of gloves, I need one to play fetch with our dog right now.
And let's see, we're talking about after Columbine. Now the ex-wife demanded I get rid of my broomsticks or banish
We read that.
to the garage. Buying the arm is the easy part. Learning how to use it properly and legally
read
is
all that.
critical.
We're all the way
Second.
down to Stephen where he says,
I really wanted to get back to Cedar Point at some time.
at
At some point. Very nice.
what? Oh, it's fireworks.
Black cats. Someone sent off black cats. What do you think it was?
I'm like, what? It sounded like. Okay, what it sounded like didn't make
Crickets
any sense.
with AK-47s?
No, it sounded like, if you have a cat and you have one of those enclosed cat boxes and
they're
they go to the
scratching?
bathroom and then they and I'm like, we don't have a cat. What creature is in our house?
Okay, I don't know how you would think that sound was that, but anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Cedar Point. Cedar Point is fantastic. I think I've been permanently banned from there, though. Ethan says, love the masks, might get one. Ed the Otech guy says, I've been waiting for over 2 months for my FOID card. The communist land of Illinois will not let me buy broomsticks until I have this ID. So frustrating. That's ridiculous. Talk about an unreasonable delay.
That really is. 2 months is ridiculous. Mater's Workshop with the $2 super chat says, Jesse, you hold the bell, and Jeff dings me tonight. Whoa. I think you need to switch to decaf nail polish remover.
Soda. In the cup. It puts the soda in the
Put
cup.
the ice in the cup, and then I put the soda in there. Really? Okay, no soda for you.
Not anymore, at least.
Goober.
Had too much Pabst. Is that really a possibility? And I see Freedom Stick also. Or I like that one. Let's see here. Blind Toolman says, hey, now we have trees, dang it, unlike Kansas City or Kansas. There are trees in eastern Kansas, I believe. No, I'm joking. I've seen trees in eastern Kansas, not in western Kansas. Robert Adams says, hey, I was born in Dover. Guy YouTuber says, is Bauer good? I like Bauer. In fact, when I came up to Montana this time, I could only bring so much, so I brought all my Bauer tools because I had a complete line that I knew was reliable and I could use for everything. Although I did forget my Bauer drill, and I'm kind of bummed about that. Jeff, perhaps you taste like bacon. Kinda.
You're brave.
Donna Ross says, time check, 9:39. No reading this, Mrs. Bear.
That is super hard to not read that, by the way.
Michael says, Mrs. Bear, that bill of yours is going to make me hook up the audio limiter again. Well, she does try to give you guys a countdown usually. Sometimes. Every so often. Okay. You know what it is? It's the humidity. That rain did not get rid of any humidity. It is still humid here. It's almost like
It's all the rain that makes it humid here.
the ringing.
The rain.
Oh, the rain. Well, usually when it rains someplace, the humidity lets off because it pulls it out of the air.
$5 super chat.
This actually makes it feel like it was worse.
I was in the middle of super
Oh,
chatting.
were you? Why are you stopping then?
Oh my gosh. You see what I have to work with? Rodney with the $5 super chat. Freedom cowbell. Oh. Haha. 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Sure, our neighbors are wondering what in the flock of seagulls is happening over here.
Remind me to take a grinder to this glass.
Yep.
It is super chipped on that side.
Hi. Was that exciting? Oh, thank goodness I have a slobbery thing.
All right. Let's see here. Fred says, but the broomstick sales should show you something. Oh, it does. Yeah, they're going crazy. Speaking of double life, Michael says, have you ever noticed you don't see Gavin Newsom and Wile E. Coyote at the same time? I'm sorry. Gavin Newsom looks like the bad guy from so many different movies. He's like, yeah. He's a creepy looking dude. Yeah. And he doesn't look any better as he gets older.
Drop it.
Tom says, do you think Harbor Freight will improve their app considering the change to go paperless? Yes, I've heard that they are actively working on updating the app. Well, Hawk says, aim small, miss small. Just watch The Patriot like yesterday.
Okay, seriously, that movie makes my heart hurt. It's really sad.
Is it the part where he says dogs are good eating? No.
Makes my heart
Well, Hawk
hurt.
says, as the Brits and Aussies say, happy day of insurrection, you revolting peasants. Yes.
Who said that?
Wahawk.
Oh.
Donna Ross says, I see the raid happening tomorrow. Oh, for our flying friends. More riots of Independence Day celebration here in Illinois. Ronald Smith says, if you go to SEMA, you see all the young ladies wearing the bare face mask. Wouldn't that be great? I would love that. That would be so awesome.
You should take a bunch with you.
Blind Toolman says, I'll see your meth lab and raise your blind lab. Happy Independence Day, Bears. Rex Racer says. Well, Hawk says, if you only had a book to learn how to make your own spirits. I know, right? Donna Ross says, I did some mechanic work today. I put a rear end into a recliner.
I saw that, and I wanted to let you
Very
do
nice.
that.
Robert says, my rear end spent too much time in a recliner instead of working on the Mustang.
Oh.
And Ronald says, I go to the restaurant and pump up grease and run it through my diesel, and sometimes I get free meals for pumping out grease. Oh, that's cool.
Ed, the old tech guy, before I read your super chat, can you clarify which one's Liberty Bell? Carry on.
The Shadow's Edge said, without a Lowe's or Sears here, I can't even replace my broken quarter-inch Craftsman ratchet. You can call them online. In fact, I've seen a thing at Sears, or the Sears, somebody posted something at Lowe's that for Cobalt and for Craftsman, you now have to call the online number. I'm disappointed to hear that. I've not had time. I've seen the picture of it. It's a real thing. Whether it's at one store or multiple stores, I don't know yet. Frank says, the government prints money all the time. Exactly. If they can do it, why can't I do it?
I'm just
I
saying.
mean, we are the government, right?
Yeah.
Will H says, please say hi to Sammy, his son. He's listening. Sammy, how you doing? Howdy from the Den of Tools.
Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July. Steven says, decaf nail polish remover. Yum.
No, it's a question mark. He doesn't know what that
I know. I was saying yum. And Michael says, can we train the slobber dog to bring the bride a sticky, juicy dog each time the bell is rung? That would be awesome, wouldn't it?
You're also in timeout.
Although Duncan...
Hands to yourself.
Duncan taught the dog to open the door. And now she goes wherever she wants.
She's like, I know how to make this snout work for me.
Oh, are you in the bathroom trying to have some alone time? Ha!
Yeah. Good luck with that.
TNT Rock says, I can't believe Walmart has a made in the USA pry bar set. Definitely going to get some the next time I go. They actually have quite a few made in the USA tools if you look close enough. Steven says, that's not usually how rain and humidity work. Not usually, but it's clearly how it worked today. And you wouldn't like Louisiana, Jody says. I know. I not during the summer, I probably wouldn't. Donna Ross says, and the mortars are going off. And Ed the Tech Guy says, cowbell equals Liberty Bell.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to read.
And James says, I only own assault repellent Formula 15s.
Ed the old tech guy with a $2 super chat. Liberty Bell, please. Ding. Ding. 1,
I caught up.
3, 2, 1. Not anymore. Yay. And it is also 8 o'clock.
Is it 8 o'clock? It's 8 o'clock. And you know what that means? It means it's time for you. Yes, you. To adopt your very own mod. Yes, please choose from our fine selection of curated moderators here at the Den of Tools. Because why? Well, because we're asking you to. Because it would make the meth lab.
Dog is asking.
The Labrador. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come here.
Get up. Get up.
Who's your favorite moderator? Who's your favorite moderator? Is it Joe Smith?
I think it's Jennifer White Wolf.
Is it Jennifer White Wolf? It might be Jennifer White Wolf.
Blind Tool Man.
Or Blind Tool Man, yeah. Huh?
Blind Tool Man.
Anyway, what as I was saying, is that please take a moment to select your very own favorite moderator. That's the people with the blue Cobalt Ranch. We have a ton here. Steven's here. Jennifer White Wolf is here. Shaz Edge, Donna Raw, who is the finest non-content on all of YouTube. Ed the Old Tech Guy, DR Falcon, and so many more. Go check them out and give them a like. Maybe even leave a comment. It really helps their channel. It makes YouTube see that there's interaction. People are watching their stuff because we've been really, truly blessed in our lives, and we just like to share some of that blessings with others. As I've said many times, when I started on YouTube, it was very much a closed kind of environment where people didn't help each other. In fact, people wouldn't even talk, wouldn't even admit there were other tool channels out there because, oh my gosh, they'd leave me and they'll go watch somebody else. And I've never wanted to be like that. So we've always tried to help the entire community on YouTube, whether it's tool channel or otherwise. If you can, put a link to your channel down below, and maybe that'll help somebody go and find your channel. But we really do try to support the whole creator community here on the Den of Tools. Also, want a big shout out, big thank you to all the people who support the channel through the super chats, the donations every week. You people are amazing, and honestly, it's always stunning for me to see that people are donating to the channel and helping us grow. That's really amazing. We're getting so close to 100,000. By the way, if you're not subscribed, why not? It doesn't cost anything. We're so close, and I've really been pushing this to try and hit 100,000 by the end of next week, because the end of next week is someone's birthday. Come here, someone. Come here. I'm really proud of this individual, and he's grown up to be quite a young man. He ran into the neighbors. The neighbors came and told us, he's like, I met your son, and he is such a polite young man. And, and my first thought was, whose son did you meet? No. Anyway, we love you, and he's going to have his birthday. Is it next Saturday?
No, it's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. Oh my gosh, next Wednesday. So we really want to hit that 100K mark here soon. And hopefully for his birthday is a nice big birthday present, because he's excited about it. And I think the idea, we talked about the idea, what we're going to do for a celebration for 100K is I'm going to do a best small tool channels that you've never heard about, who hopefully one day I think will hit 100K. And so we're going to do that, a video of that. But right now, a lot of those people are moderators. Some of the moderators who we think have great channels who aren't here, the Audubon Dan, who was here previously, I think he's gone by now. Brad's Workbench, Princess Jamie, she's been putting out some great stuff. She's just started recently, but she's got a real knack for it. Hopefully she keeps going. Who else is not here tonight that's usually here, puts out good content? Justin Dow. Justin Dow's got a fabulous channel. He's a great guy. He's a great dad. And that's always for us, is when we see good family, people, we love to help support them and promote them. Barbecue 76 says, wife is okay. Mrs. Bear will not like me when you get my bell. Yes, it will be evil, and yes, you will use it. And yes, I'm being cryptic and vague on purpose.
Okay.
I love it.
But there was a super chat prior to that.
Was there?
There was. So we're going to ring the bell.
Okay, real quick. And then also I want to say a big thank you to all of our members. That's the people you see, like Daughter of Raw, Ed the Old Tech Guy,
Like me.
DR Falcon, Not You, Frank Landgraf, and others. Steven, of course. Everyone who supports the channel on a monthly basis. Was I speaking here? Come here. Come here. Where are you? Where are you? There he is. Come here. Anyway, they support the channel each and every month. It's kind of like Patreon, but built into YouTube.
No.
Oh, I'm going.
No.
And that's our family in a nutshell. Literally, nut house kind of show.
Yep.
Anyway, we love all of you. We love spending our time with you. So thank you very much. So help spread the love here by supporting other channels here on YouTube. So super chats you were going to do. There was another previous super chat.
Yes.
I believe it was Ed the Old Tech Guy.
It says double bell. Ding away.
Oh my gosh.
For
Daughter
of Ra.
Oh, I have to do it too?
Well, it's a double bell.
I thought you were going to two-hand it there. You ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
Oh my gosh. And just think, Ed, that was a $2 super chat.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
All right, and the other one was Barbecue 76 says wife is okay. I just read that.
Mr. Bear.
Mr. Bear.
Will not like
Mr.
me.
Bear will like.
Yeah. So
So you can't ding.
why? It says yes, it will be evil. Yes, you will use it.
But Barbecue 76, he doesn't like it when you ding, right?
No, his wife doesn't like it.
Oh, I thought you had a no ding policy for him.
For his wife. It's when
Okay,
he does super chat.
but he doesn't like it because she gets upset. So do whatever you're gonna do. I don't care. I'm tired of
He's
this
being
conversation.
cryptic and vague.
I'm gonna have a
Anyways,
drink.
Yep. We're gonna not do it until you clarify. Maybe you're sending me a bill that you want me to use. It's made out of marshmallows. I don't really know. $5.76 super chat from Barbecue 76.
Ah,
Stop
tell you what, we get
drinking
a
it.
$50 super chat. I'll make you drink this stuff.
No.
If you want to see the missus throw up live on the stream, $50 super chat.
Nope.
Here, just smell it.
I've already smelled it.
No,
Okay.
not in the glass. Come on, just smell it.
Mommy, for me, come on. Please.
Yeah, that is nail polish remover. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure
it
that
does.
you're
It
lost.
smells like nail polish remover.
Yeah. Oh, Dale. Dale Lucid. Don't forget Dale.
Dale
That's right.
Lucid.
Don't yuck someone else's yum.
Oh, it's not yum. It's not yum at all. I'm just drinking it because I paid for it.
Ed
And I'm so
says-
stubborn I won't throw it away.
Well, it's for mixing, goofball.
It's not
The
even-
double
oh.
ding was classic. Daughter of Ra loved it. I don't actually think that she did, Ed the old tech guy. I'm pretty sure that there's like a wanted poster with your name on it. I forgot I had this on my head. Hello.
Oh,
Shadow's Edge says he's still waiting for us to get an air horn. Honey, apparently we need an air horn.
Joe Smith says Joe Smith just ran liberal mom off. Off of what?
Huh. Okay.
Although you missed it the other day when we were working on the sewer, we were all trading how terrible our dad is stories, and it was like we were all one upping each other. I think I actually won. I was like, well, my dad died this year, and I found out about it 2 months later, third hand via Facebook chat. So, he's a special kind of guy. But it was really cool is later, and Duncan was there listening to all this. Is that later Duncan came up to me, gave me a hug, and said, "You're a great dad, and I appreciate you," which was amazing. He's a really good kiss ass. I of course asked him what he wanted, and he's like, so like $300 and an airsoft. I'm like, yeah, nice try. He's like, well, you asked.
I think I know what he said.
What was that?
A life.
A life. Nice.
Down, goofball.
Ronald Smith says the couple that went out with their broomsticks hector properly for themselves, they want to have them convicted for having their broomsticks, and CNN News grilled them. This is ridiculous. The people busted down the gate, yelled obscenities and threatened violence towards that couple. They defended themselves on their own property, and the only reason they're going after them is because of politics. Here's the thing though. Don't worry about these people because they've clearly got the money to defend themselves. And I'm telling you, if OJ can get off from having stabbed someone, I don't think they've got a problem. They do, however, need to call Johnny Cochran. If the caliber doesn't fit, you must quit.
Okay, we're moving on.
All right. Anyway. Michael says, Happy 4th of July from South Texas. Yeehaw, South Texas. I've never been to South Texas. I've been through the Panhandle numerous times. I've been to Dallas once. I've never been to South Texas. I've always wanted to go down there. Check it out. It sounds warm.
Sounds humid.
That would be Gulf Coast, Texas, which I've never been to the Gulf Coast of Texas either. I've been to the Gulf Coast in Florida, and that's it. No, that's not true. I've been to the Gulf Coast in Mexico, which is fabulous. And Michael says, I dare you to say something nice about the financially challenged parasites like me.
I'm not sure where to go with that.
What are you talking about, Michael? We love you. You're awesome. Michael's a hell of a guy, by the way. If you ever want to know anything about 3D printing or about electronics, you need to talk to Michael. I am him or something. He is a whiz. He's like certified genius when it comes to like serious hardcore electronics and stuff like that. Dude's written a book. And that's not a challenge for me to say something nice about people like you. Love having you as part of the community. And I just want to say that real quick. You know, it's great all the people who support the community through super chats and becoming a member and all that kind of stuff. If you can't afford it, don't for one hot second feel bad about it. And I get emails like, I feel terrible, like I want to support it. Here's how you support the channel. There's a big thumbs up button. Mm-hmm. First step. Click that thumbs up button. We got 161 people concurrently and only 122 likes, which actually as a ratio is pretty dang good. So you guys are amazing. But hit the like button on any video. Just hit the like button. That is the first and best way to, first and best way to support the channel. Secondly, leaving a comment. Just leaving a comment shows interaction. It's a great way. A fabulous way of supporting the channel is sharing it with somebody who hasn't seen it. Yep. Share it on share it on Instagram, share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter, all of that stuff. If you want to help support the channel and you don't have any money, those are ways you can do it. But seriously, the best way for you to support the channel, show up to Livestream, say hi, become part of the community. Michael, we love you, brother. I've known you for a while, quite some time. We've exchanged emails and stuff. He is a great guy, a truly smarter than me, definitely way smarter than me kind of guy. So be part of the community. We love having everyone like that. And I'm not one of these people who's like threatened by people who are smarter than me. I like having people who are smarter than me. Surround myself with people like that because that's what lifts me up, lifts us all up. You know, the old saying, if you're not smart, surround yourself with smart people. If you are smart, surround yourself with people who are smart who disagree with you.
Barbecue 76.
I'll be back.
No. You
didn't give him a refund?
No. I'm getting the double shot, not you. Yes, I am. Yep. Anyways, thank you so much for the super chat.
Which one of us was a bartender? Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, thank you so much for the super chat. I know that you're just being super amazing and also torturing me at the same time because, you know, that's fun. But seriously, thank you so much for the super chat. And I'm sure that the nail polish remover will taste delicious. Not at all. I do have to say one little thing about Michael, which is he says, just recovering from being highly broke from unemployment. So donations to the channel are just out of range right now. Thanks for the kind words. And I just want to remind you exactly what Jeff said, which is don't ever feel bad. And the fact that, that you are really? The fact that you are even stressing about it all is totally ridiculous. So not ridiculous, but totally uncalled for. So we super love having you and everyone else here. Michael says, Mrs. DeBear, you are correct. It's hot and humid. I'm between Houston and Corpus. Oh my goodness. Shadow's Edge says, I miss seeing Tech Gorilla in the chat. Yes. Fred Hill says, I'm very concerned with what we are going to be leaving the next generation. I'm really concerned about my granddaughter. I thought it wouldn't get any worse than growing up in the 60s. So, you know, Fred, I hear what you're saying and I do worry. And what I try to remind myself is that, you know, it's not all set in stone and we have the option every day to make a difference and to continue to be the world that we want to live in. And a reminder that, you know, a lot of people do things out of ignorance. So, you know, maybe they do it because they don't know any better. So it's a great opportunity for us to remind people about the history of our country and also to educate them when maybe they're going down the wrong road because they don't know any better. Oh, look. Oh, no.
Just for you.
That is so gross.
Oh, give it to Mom.
So barbecue 76. No.
Throw it for the dog.
You're going to the hot place.
Why would you send our son to the hot place?
No, you're going to the hot place.
Oh, oops.
Don't try to blow my windmills, my pinwheels.
This is a family show. Let's watch the language.
$50 super chat.
Hold on.
Really?
Hold on. Where's my phone? Okay.
Where's your phone?
Yeah.
Why are you getting a phone?
Oh, I'm videotaping this.
I'm not drinking this all in one shot.
Oh, you have to. Double shot.
Yes, I have to drink a double shot, not in one go.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
No.
Okay.
No.
We're videotaping. Go on. You have to drink some of it.
Yeah. It's really delicious.
Oh, come. Let me see how much you drank. You barely took a sip.
I feel like I'm Lucille Ball in the Vita.
Oh my gosh, I
When
forgot
she
about
keeps
that
drinking
episode.
that. Yeah.
What is it
So-
she's drinking?
So she's supposed to be drinking this like healthy product, but it has alcohol in it. So as she keeps doing more and more takes, she keeps getting further and further.
Snockered.
Yeah. So thank you again, Barbecue.
Sorry, my
76.
sinuses are kicking in also. What does that mean?
Just saying karma.
Speaking of which, I've got a friend, bought an MG. He wanted a little sports car to drive around, so he got himself an old MG. 2 days after buying that MG, a true bar find MG midget pops up, and he gets it for like $2,000. The thing is pristine. It needs some work only because it's been sitting so long. And so now he's sitting there with two MGs. I'm like, great, you got roller skates, matching roller skates. Now, one's brown and one is silver. Honestly, I'm not a fan of the MG midget. It is a really tiny car. I like the MG myself. That is classic British. I love British cars. I don't like owning them because if you know British cars, you know why. I don't need to expound on that. Let's see here. I'm way behind.
Yes, you are. It's because you're rambling.
I'm sorry, you were saying?
I haven't been saying anything.
Our craftsmen, do they make good tools? Guy says they used to. I am not a fan of the current craftsman tools. I'm sorry, I'm just not. And I really get offended by the marketing of made in America from globally sourced materials. No, they're assembled in America like Legos. Shadow's Edge says, I'm still waiting for you to get an air horn. Oh, yeah.
I read that like 4 hours ago.
We need more cowbell. Don't fear the Reaper. I got to tell you guys, I can do some good impressions, some decent ones. I still cannot get, what's his name? Christopher Walken. I can't do the Christopher Walken. If you want to see a good Christopher Walken, you got to see, what was that? Who's that one guy? There was a Saturday Night Live skit where they did like other Star Trek or other Star Wars ones, and this one guy did Christopher Walken trying out for Han Solo, and it was fabulous, and he was so good. I've seen a lot of great actually Christopher Walken impressions. I cannot do a good Christopher Walken impression, but it's like it's I got a fever,
Duncan?
and the only cure
No.
is more cowbell.
No.
Baby, don't fear the reap. I like Blue Oyster Cult.
Okay.
Barbecue. I can't talk. Barbecue. My sinuses are draining like crazy. Barbecue 76 says, guess the Labrador Foggy doesn't like me, and that's because we haven't met. Oh no. The Labrador loves everyone. And she wants to meet you desperately
Duncan.
in the face. This is 80 pounds of sheer unadulterated love. She loves everybody and wants to show you how much she loves you. People are like, oh, is your dog dangerous? I'm like, only because she likes you so much. She will pin you down and show you how dangerous she is in the face. Sean says, your thoughts on Northern Tools? I don't have a lot of thought on Northern Tools because there is not one near me. I have not been able to really get much of their stuff. We do show some of their sales sometimes. I've seen a few of their items. They seem decent, but I don't have enough experience with them to really talk about it. Special Moose. I love that name. Can you explain to me what's up with Stanley Stanley Black & Decker's handling of Porter-Cable power tools, as well as the half-ass branding of Craftsman? Well, I did kind of cover that in a couple different videos. So if you do a search, I mean, it's a big, long story. So I did a history of Craftsman, and I did some other stuff about Porter-Cable. But the gist of it is that they did a good, better, best, much like Harbor Freight does good, better, best. So their good was Black & Decker, their better was Porter-Cable, and their best was DeWalt. You have to understand that they really were just Stanley Black & Decker, and Porter-Cable and DeWalt were brands that they had purchased that they basically bought just for the name, threw the rest of it away, and then they took Stanley Black & Decker tools, made them better, and put these names on them. So TTI has Milwaukee, Rigid, and Ryobi. Ryobi being the good, Rigid being the better, Milwaukee being the best. So they were trying to match TTI with that, and Porter-Cable was supposed to be the match to Rigid, and it just wasn't. I honestly am not a fan of it. I think it's a terrible product. I'm not a fan of the Black & Decker. I'm not even a fan of the lower end DeWalt. The higher end DeWalt stuff's pretty good, but at the end of the day, Porter-Cable was not a success for Stanley Black & Decker. They had a chance to buy the Craftsman brand, and they paid $900 million plus a percentage of or sales going forward on that product. And they have thrown the kitchen sink at it, and they've decided to make it their new baby. And they're doing pretty good with it. And they forced Lowe's to basically put it every place they can. And now it's showing up at other stores. It's showing up at Ace. It's showing up at Napa. I haven't heard stories, though, that Milwaukee is going to show up at Napa. That was the other thing I was going to tell you about. I heard Milwaukee is showing up at Napa. Whole nother topic. Anyway, Porter-Cable now has become this redheaded stepchild of Stanley Black & Decker and is now being offered to third-party partners who they don't really care about as being their house brand. Okay? That's the 5-minute synopsis.
Barbecue 76 with the $2 super chat. I'm about 3 minutes behind. Down it all. And I did. It says, in one gulp. Well, I did down the rest of it in one gulp. $2 super chat times 2. No, I'm not drinking anymore. Seriously, that stuff is terrible.
It's horrible.
It's like awful. 3, 2, 1. No ringing of the bell.
Literally, I am literally only drinking it because I am so stubborn that I paid for it and I won't throw it away.
I don't know why you were drinking it, because it's supposed to be mixed with my pina colada stuff. So why are you drinking
Because I
it?
will get you better stuff than that to mix with your
Okay.
pina colada.
Well, just leave it alone. It doesn't make any sense to drink it. It's not good for anyone, literally. We could use it for weed killer. Stuff's awful.
It would probably work
Stop
good as a weed
drinking
killer.
it.
I miss seeing Tech Gorilla in the chat. I know. He doesn't stop by nearly as much as he used to. He pops in every so often. But, that's the way things happen. Life goes in these circles.
Yep, it does.
Mrs. Barry, you're correct. Hot and humid. I'm between Houston and Corpus Christi. Michael Maresh says, I should point out.
I feel like yep.
I've never been to Corpus Christi. I would love to go there. Michael, that's one you read about recovering from being broke. You and us both, brother.
Yep.
Michael says, did my George Jetson duty. The button has been pressed, or was it General Lee May? Fred says, I'm very concerned that we're going to be leaving the next generation of what we're going to be leaving the next generation. I'm really concerned about my granddaughter. I thought it couldn't get any worse than growing up in the 60s. This is...
We talked about that one too while you were gone.
I'm ready to move out of the country, quite
No.
frankly. Oh, I am. If I had buy a boat and just never come back.
No.
Travel around the world. It'd be fabulous.
We got to make the world a better place.
I will make the
Wherever
world a
we
better
are.
place by not being part of this one. Ronald says, if you've been to the Florida Keys, you look one way, you're looking at the Caribbean, you look the other way, you're looking at the Gulf Coast. I love that. I love the Florida Keys. I've driven down the Keys a number of times, been all the way down to Key West a couple times. I love that idea of standing in one moment, you're standing in the Caribbean, go to the other side of the island, and you're in the Atlantic. Trolling for Dollars mentions that the bathroom light is on.
Great.
Is it? I think somebody may have turned it off by now.
Nope, it's still on.
Michael says, want bad liquor? I had a chance to try some Iraq / it was awful solvent flavor. They know squat about distilling. Might want to go get your book translated into Arabic. My understanding is that it's illegal over there, so... But yeah, I know. I remember having some Kamchatka vodka back in my late teens, and it was terrible. Absolutely terrible. Michael Chesney says, paid cash, took a sip of this junk, and gave it away. The guy that did drink it spent the next 3 days in sunglasses. Wonder if he still has a liver. Ooh, Jeffrey says, a bowl of bacon and some taters on the grill now. Burgers soon. I still got to make my bacon jam. I've been saying I was going to make it, and I haven't gotten around to it. Mohawk says, holy cow, Jeff lost so much weight. He's a kid again. Oh, no, it was Griffin. I know. We look so much alike. Zen Willing says, hi from New York. What'd you say, Griff?
It was Eleanor. I said they're like identical twins.
Oh, Elle says we were like identical twins. And there go more of the black cats going off. Jennifer says, long ago, Farm Biz worked on sports cars. MG Midget, what was it? In a garden tractor with a crappy body.
Those remind me of Mom trying to get ice.
You know what my favorite small car like that is? The Sunbeam. Who here has ever seen or ridden in a Sunbeam Tiger? Raise your hand. That's a real sports car. 8-cylinder engine in that thing. Oh. Of course, first vehicle I ever drove, I can still picture to this day, was near downtown Des Moines, Iowa, sitting on the lap of my a-hole of a father, who's... No, he's not up there, that's for sure. Sorry, not being bitter. As was sitting on his lap driving a Triumph, I think it was a TR4. You know, I kind of have to guess at this. First vehicle I ever drove sitting by myself in the driver's seat was a 1969 Porsche 911. Not sure if it was a 911 or 901. There was some transition there that year.
Hey, Justin Dow.
Justin Dow, brother man, how goes it? He says, cheers, everyone. Hope you're enjoying your 4th. We gave you a shout out earlier. Great channel, great guy, great family man, great husband and father. Absolutely love this guy. Cannot say enough about him. Go check out his channel. Steven says, speaking of great family men, Steven says, I've sat in a BMW Lancetta once. Oh, yeah. That thing was tiny. You've sat in a Messerschmitt microcar? I've never even seen a Messerschmitt microcar. This is one of the things. If there's anything my misbegotten father left me, was a passion for vehicles. So he was a sales manager for Ford for many, many years. And in his spare time, he ran his own company fixing up European cars, mostly Porsches, BMWs, and Mercedes. He dabbled in some other stuff every once in a while, an Italian car. I remember riding in my first Lamborghini with him. He taped a $100 bill to the dash and said he's going to floor it, and if I can grab it by the next stoplight, I could keep it. I was like 8 years old, and $100 back then was basically like winning the lottery. I did not get the $100 bill.
Aww.
And that thing was so... And that was when I realized, I understood clearly the difference. And it was one of those epiphany moments when you realize that there are certain cars for certain classes of people. And that's when I first realized the whole concept of economic class and the availability of vehicles. And, he then eventually moved into, creating his own leasing company and leasing high-end cars, mostly in the, what's that really expensive area of Phoenix? I just forgot it. What's it called?
I don't know.
Somebody. I'm sure there's somebody here from Phoenix area. If you know, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Up in here.
Up in here. Up in here.
I remember going to McDonald's there and they had real silverware. Sorry, I'm Googling it. And I'm typing it badly. Expensive areas of Phoenix. Not Tempe. It's... I always remember it being right at the base of Camelback. Not Paradise Valley. Scottsdale. That's it.
Scottsdale.
I knew there were T's in it. So Scottsdale. Anyway, enough about that. Yeah, but still a Messerschmitt. I've only ever seen them online or on TV. Robert says the flying half loves British cars and she fits in them. If I were to build one, it would have a Toyota drivetrain. I could see that. There was a great place in the South Bay, in San Francisco Bay Area, that would take old Porsches and put turbocharged Subaru engines in them. Talk about a bulletproof drivetrain in a fantastic car. I would love to see a Toyota drivetrain in one of those little British cars. I love the Land Rovers and those I love those things. I just would never buy one. Michael says, I have some very strong negative opinions on British cars. My OM was a huge fan of the Rover 2000. Handy tools to him made me the nerd I am today. No social life as a kid. OM, I guess, old man. The Rover, that was a car.
Sorry.
Fred says, over 250 years old. We've survived Civil War, World War I, World War II, War of 1812. Britain burns the White House. We've survived all of that. Hope we'll survive this one. If you've read any of the real history, they don't like to talk about it, but there have been these kind of social uprising BS, often done by, look in the history of yellow journalism. There's been this kind of BS throughout the history of the nation, and we've always come back. It doesn't mean we should sit back and take it easy, but just understand that the press does not represent. Look at the president. The press does not represent what everyone else thinks. Let's see here. Frank says, I saw Blue Oyster Cult in Grand Rapids many years ago. I've seen a lot of the classic bands. I have not seen Blue Oyster Cult. I've seen, who have I seen? I've seen Led Zeppelin. I saw what was left of the Beatles. They had, what's his name, son playing for him. I saw the Rolling Stones. Who else have we seen? James Brown, The Godfather of Soul. That was fantastic. 11th row center. Got, just amazing. I saw Eartha Kitt. That was a brilliant show.
Robert Adams says, headed out. Got a long day ahead tomorrow. Have a great day.
You take care. Have a good one. Daughter also says, sounds like a war zone around here. Having grown up near a rough part of Flint, got to get the brain off the game. Is that a firework or a shot? Oh. Every time I hear something like that, my brain goes, you know, because I'm used to rolling up to the. So I've lived in some bad neighborhoods. We lived in about the worst neighborhood you could in Oakland.
Mm. There were some other spots that might have been a little sketchy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. And our friends lived there and went to barbecues there. Mm-hmm. So, like, one way in, one way out kind of neighborhoods. Mm-hmm. And I've been to some other areas, and I've also lived in some real redneck areas where you're pretty sure, where everyone's going out and shooting off guns rather than fireworks. So you need to stay inside because that's what goes up
must come down.
must come down. Physics. I know. And so, yeah, every time we're out here, I'm questioning, what'd that sound like? Michael says, there are 3 new black lab puppies in the neighborhood. Can't imagine a better, more fun dog. Got to play with one for a bit. Love on pause. Yes, they are. Black labs are I grew up with a beagle. And I love beagles. And I've always said that if I ever became rich, I would own like 40 beagles. And I'd always keep them like half fed. So if anybody ever got on the property, they would eat them like a pack of piranhas. Because beagles will eat anything when they're hungry. They literally will. They're sweet dogs, but they're not the best kid dogs out there. This dog, she barks at me when I come home. She barks at me when I try to go to bed because she inevitably goes to bed before I do because I'm a bit of a workaholic. I stay up late doing work. So she goes to bed early. The dog, of course, crashes in bed with you on my side.
That's right. You mean her side?
And barks at me as I turn to bed, like growling at me, like, I'm here first. But when it comes to the kids, they could ride her, they could lay on her, they could jump off the top rope and land on her, and she'd be like, ugh. Great, just fabulous with kids.
She's the nicest with kids.
She's great. Buddy McIntyre. Hey.
Bunny! By the way, Bunny, we have to out you because we're going to send it to you.
No.
Yes, we do.
Outer.
We have to. She won. Our Father's Day extravaganza, if you were wondering who won the Father's Day giveaway, it was Bunny McIntyre. I am going to out her because she took forever to get back to us.
No.
Not everyone checks their email every single day. I totally get that. Not like me, who's sitting there constantly going, did I get a new email? Did I get a new email? I'm bad like that. Anyway, so we are putting together your package, and we're going to try and get that out to you this week.
Yep.
But anyway, hi. Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July.
And where was I? Jim McMahon says, tuning in late. Happy 4th. I decided to start binge watching CSI. I was wondering how accurate their depiction of Las Vegas is.
Are people dead?
I would say not at all.
Really?
Have you seen the police department?
Okay, well, like all the fancy cool things where they solve things in like
They have
23
the giant,
minutes.
like transparent two-way screen.
And it
thing.
like rotates. Okay, that part isn't. But like the lights and everybody acting like they've lost their mind, that's pretty accurate.
The main CSI, where is that? Oh, that's
I
horrible.
don't know. Stop drinking that.
I'm going to finish what I poured.
I don't know what the original is.
Because what's her name? The 49-year-old goth girl? That is CSI, right? Is her name Gabby or Caddy? Where's the mini skirt with the plastic?
I know who you're talking about.
Duncan's choking back there. He's laughing so hard.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, you don't know. I always love that thing when they show these police stations with these They're the government. They get no funding whatsoever. They're running 1980 CRTs that may be in color, but probably are still green screens. Michael Maresh says, I bought a Craftsman 20-volt set, half-inch drill, quarter-inch impact, 6.5-inch circ saw, light, 3 batteries, charger, and Versastack box last week, $135. Oh, wow. $135 for all of that?
You were confusing. Yes. NCIS is a different
Oh, that's
one.
NCIS. I don't know. I can't follow all of your How to Murder Your Husband shows that you watch.
That's not a How to Murder Your Husband show.
So let's talk real quick about the shows that we've been watching. We've been binge watching lately. We watched, if you have not seen it, the Dresden Files, Dresden. It's based off of a series of books that started a whole concept. It's a think typical Chicago detective, except the detective is a wizard. Just run with it. It is a great series of books. The show is not bad. They only ran for one season. You can see it on Hulu, I think. Anyway, it's entertaining. Good watch. Especially if you're into that. So the kids are really into the whole like fantasy, especially what they call it. They call it contemporary fantasy, which is something is happening today, current time.
Yeah, I thought there was another word for it.
Paranormal
No.
fantasy.
Like, basically, like sci-fi, but it's set in current day. I thought there was another term for it.
Paranormal or contemporary fantasy. I know because these are genres of books I actually
You also
read.
should watch Grimm.
Grimm is another favorite one of the daughter. I'm not a fan of it.
She likes
Might
it.
be a little scary for the little ones.
Might be a little
Okay.
scary for the little ones.
Yeah,
she
not
says.
family friendly.
No. And recently we stumbled across one called Warrior Nun.
Yeah, that one is such an odd.
Terrible name.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to get a grab onto, but if you like the Catholic background to it, it's pretty good. Constantine, tried to watch that. If you like the movie, you're not going to like it. It's more akin to the old graphic novel / comic book. What else?
I feel like there's something else that we're forgetting.
Duncan's been watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, yes. He is like obsessed with that. And it's so weird to watch it now, like 20 years later.
But still, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, let me catch up on these. Scorpion Sundays in the house says, hello, Bear family. Fred Hill says, do you remember the SNL did a script where they canceled Star Trek? No, I missed that one.
Well, I also think that Star Trek is another one of those shows that we really need to show the kids.
Jennifer White Wolf says that collie dogs are sweet too. She says that she's biased though because she is an AKC collie breeder. Answer us this: how do they know how Timmy? How do they know that Timmy fell down the well, and why did he fall down the well so often? You have to be above a certain age to get that joke.
Steven, I'm really sorry that you have to be at work in the morning. He says, everyone take care and happy 4th. I got to get to bed. So I hope you have a great night. I totally understand. Yes, Bella.
Have a good night. Steven says, what brand is said nail polish remover? I showed it last time. What is it?
I don't remember what it is. Something in a plastic bottle that's terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I feel like we shouldn't actually mention it because it's...
Because people might buy it.
Yep.
Michael says, been working on something depressing, made a little amp hour battery tester with a D-Rock module and discovered how poor my ham radio batteries are. May need 5 new ones directly. I hate that. I hate when that happens. Fred Hill says, my dad was stationed at Laredo Air Force Base in southern Texas. We were there 62 to 67. We were there for 5 years. It was a dry heat. You know, people, they make that joke, but it is. Having spent time in Arizona and in the Central Valley in California and in Vegas, I'll take a dry heat over a humid heat any day of the week.
Oh, it's so nice.
And Eric says, I like the rum punch you get in sketchy roadside stands in the Caribbean. Dude, I'm all about that. Dear Falcon says he sat in a Sunbeam Tiger. Greenspoke says the Sunbeam Tiger. That is fun. Robert says, I've rebuilt short blocks for the Sunbeam Tiger. I would love to sell, but no one wants it. Fred says, yes, I do.
Oh my gosh. Sorry. Brian says, sounds like World War III at my place. Next door neighbors are dueling the neighbors across the street. They have a rack of artillery tubes and have 2 guys with blowtorches launching 12 shells at a time.
Oh my gosh.
Holy guacamole.
PT says, last stick I drove was a Carmen Ghia my building owner had not a sporty car, and the battery was not tied down. That was fun. That was my last one. My Hyundai. I had a Hyundai Sonata hybrid, and not the hybrid battery, but the car battery died. But they used a really tiny compact battery for the car battery, and it was like $350, but I could buy the same battery in a standard size for like $60. So I bought that and I jury rigged it in there, and yeah, it was a little shaky.
Justin Dow says they just stopped. It was like they hit their budget. You know, I have to say, like, when I was a kid, I grew up in some, like, not super affluent areas. They were financially challenged. And
he's in SoCal. That's a good way to get a PG&E style brush fire going.
yeah, well, they burned everything down.
Oh, the PG&E already burned everything, so no worries. Never mind.
But yeah, it was like they would go off, and then it was like, oh, we're all done.
Dead stop.
Yep.
We had a great time. We used to, when I lived in Indiana, we'd go out to Fox Lake, and there was a pier out into the middle of the lake, and we'd always launch from the end of the lake, or into the pier, because then they would always end up in the lake, don't have to worry about brush fires. And then some idiot was about to launch a whole bunch of, like, jumbo bottle rockets, and when he went to run away from him, because, of course, he was a moron, thought he had to run, because they were like a 2-second fuse, he tripped over the box he was launching them at, and they all launched right towards the beach. It's fabulous.
I will be honest. 4th of July, I think, is a wonderful holiday. I do not care for the fireworks. I have not cared for them for a very long time.
I've never had a problem with fireworks. I don't understand why anyone would say there's a problem with fireworks.
I think it's great that you show the kids and you let them. But I literally stay home because...
No, you don't stay home. You stay inside. And like we lit fireworks off in the cul-de-sac. You wouldn't come outside. You didn't want to know about it. You didn't want to hear about it. You are terrified about what could happen to the children. And I get that.
Yeah. And so for me, I'm a big believer that like... you know, I think people talk a lot about like horses and animals. Like when you have nervous energy and you bring that to a situation, I don't think it brings good things. And so for me personally, if I'm going to be super nervous about something, I didn't think that you would be unsafe, but I felt like me being a total stress bucket the whole time would A, take away from the children's experience, and B, could also be potentially dangerous. Like if your mom is freaking out so much, you might do something that's kind of dingbatty. So for me personally, I just stop.
I thought that was a firework at first. That's thunder.
Oh, Justin Dow's comment says, that had to do with the one before. It says, just watched Force of Nature. Not going to lie. It started off good and then slowly tanked as the movie went forward. The end was crap.
Oh.
So, sorry, I thought you were talking. It says, they just stopped. It was like they hit their budget. I get you. Sorry. So what I'm hearing, Justin Dow, is it's really important to read all of the comments. I got you. Sorry. I let him
That
rip
thunder
down.
is still rolling.
It's not thunder. It's fireworks.
Listen. That's not fireworks.
It is.
No, I know the difference between fireworks and thunder. I've
Okay.
lit tons of fireworks off. I've seen fireworks don't sound like that.
Okay.
Unless you
Eleanor?
let them off in a tunnel. All right. So anyway, so PT's comment made me start thinking about what was the last stick shift that I drove. I honestly think the last stick shift I drove was my I can't remember. I can't remember if it was 96 or 97. I think it was a 96. I had a Saab 900S. Car was so much fun to drive. Love that car. Evan, if you're watching, you owe me a Saab. Just saying. Hold on, quiet. Quiet. That's hail. Go look out front, and it looks green. Watch this. I think we may have a tornado coming in.
You said it's green?
Yep, sky's green.
I like how he sends the children out.
Move.
So we're going to, I haven't heard any weather alerts.
They're huge. Okay, size of golf balls.
Apparently they're huge. They're the size of golf balls. I think he's talking about hailstones, but what do I know?
That thinks it could be.
Yes, I know. I know. Here's the deal. We're in a super safe place.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are. Anyways, Shadow's Edge says, my last stick shift I drove was an 85 Metro. CSI Vegas is the original one, not on anymore. I have to say, I think it's Jan is how you say your name. I am super sorry if I am mispronouncing your name. I think we talked about this last time. I don't watch anything on regular TV, so I don't really know what's currently on. Zaffiel says, I don't believe it's a tornado because Wisp is still working. So I totally hear what you're saying. It is very haily, and I know that you guys can't see this. What I'm looking at is there is a skylight. And I also have to say last year, I don't think it was exactly 4th of July. I want to say maybe it was the 3rd. We'd have to look at the filming. And we were filming the parade, and it hailed so bad we had to go inside. So it's not unusual. There was one year where it snowed on us at the rodeo. So yeah. Justin said, in Montana, I wouldn't be surprised if it went from day to night to hail to rain to dry and fireworks and snow. It's kind of like that. Daughter of Ross says, sneaks back in. It's okay. Apparently we're having like a massive hailstorm situation. How's it going?
Whew.
Did it get rid of the hornets?
No, horns are still there.
Somebody just called me.
Unless your name is Hornet, I don't think so.
Now look how big this one is.
We got. Here's one. It's about an average size. It is
Well, it looks like a tooth.
not as
Kind
big
of.
as the ice cubes that our ice maker makes.
But close.
Dad, that was on the floor.
It's okay. It's okay. Dad's helping his immune system.
About the same consistency.
Nice.
Where did we go?
Daughter of Ross says, I was watching the 4th of July stream last year with the hail. Yep.
I was
it
just going to
tot-
say, it's not quite as bad as that.
And I was talking about it. Oh my goodness. Hint, put your bacon strips in a stainless bowl or pan and use your grilling heat to cook them up for the burgers. Nice. Wahawk says, that's the Midwest, Raising and Jeff. We sit on the porch and watch the Twisters.
There was somebody who did a thing about a whole line of memes about that. And I was sending that to the wife going, you see, I'm not the only one. Fred says, remember the boat car? I always thought that was going to be a thing. Never really took off. Michael says, my brother had a TVR. Ooh, TVR. Made a lot of people look stupid on Long Island. The thing could outcorner most USA-made vehicles. Yep.
Michael, I like how you think. Free ice for your drink. That's right.
Yep. Frank says, I saw a Messerschmitt on American Pickers. Justin Dow said, wife just got her Smith & Wesson 1522. I should be picking up my 38 tomorrow morning. She's excited and can't wait to start shooting. The Smith & Wesson, so first of all, the Ruger 1022 has often been considered the default 22 semi-auto rifle you should get. I'm going to tell you, you should stop. If you're looking to get a 22 and you're thinking about getting the Ruger 1022, I have 3 of them. I'm a firm believer. Hold on. I have 3. I sold 2. All right. I had at 1.5 of these guns, and I think they're fabulous rifles. That Smith & Wesson 1522, I just get that. Just get that. Be done with it. It's the way to go. And my personal feeling, it has dethroned the king. PT says and I love 38s, by the way. Big fan of 30. They're a great round. I was gonna say 357 running a 38 in it is a good choice. Also, can't go wrong with 38. PT says, my older bro once had a V12 Jag, and it wasn't at all like acceleration on the V8. That's the one thing I've never owned. I've never owned a V12, and I am super jealous. Fred Hill says, Del West. Michael Marish says, the $100 bill on the dash is an old trick. I have an all-original 81 T-Top Z28 I'm restoring, and a couple more I haven't started. My best friend, one of my best friends out of high school, had it was a Camaro Z28 with a 5-speed stick, which was pretty rare. But he didn't have the T-tops. My roommate's girlfriend had a white one, had the Trans Am. Sorry, her dad bought it for her because she was a princess. She had the Trans Am white with the blue chicken on the front with the T-tops. I loved driving that car. They would go out. I'm like, can I borrow the Trans Am? Sure, go ahead. Oh, so much fun. I'd let them take my Jeep. I had a CJ7 at the time, and they'd love to take the Jeep. I'd take the Trans Am. Great trade. Robert Adams says, head out, long day. You have a good time. Say hi to the wife for us. Thanks for stopping by.
Absolutely.
Ed, the old tech guy. What is your dream car? Mine is a 63 Stingray Corvette. Ed, that is a really hard choice. Real quick, I have to comment on this. Steve says, I've been on a Pink Floyd kick lately. Steve, I can't listen to Pink Floyd. It makes all the straight lines do this for me. Something chemically induced, not sure why. No idea. Anyway, dream car. I've always wanted a late to mid 70s Porsche 911 Turbo Carrera. But being older these days, I'm in my early 50s. I've got kids. If I had won the lottery, the first thing I would go out and buy would be a top of the line Ram Longhorn. What is it? It's the Longhorn.
The long
Laramie Longhorn with the full cowboy interior, 350 Cummins diesel, dually with everything in it. That would super cab. That would be my redneck Mercedes of choice. Now, I would also love to have a Jeep that uses my redneck sports car. Take the windows off, take the top off, put the windshield down. What else? See, to me, cars are like a toolbox. There's no one car. There's no one tool. Like, what's the one screwdriver you would have? Nope, couldn't do it. And cars are kind of the same thing. It would be like, instead of my dream car, I could tell you, that's what I should do a video of. I'm going to do that. Mark that down. I'm going to do a video of my dream garage.
Cool.
That's the one I'm going to do.
It's cold out there.
That to say, the 63 Stingray Corvette is. I love Stingrays. Stingrays are fabulous. We were behind one today. One of the newer ones, not the mid-engine. The mid-engine Stingray is sex on wheels.
$2 Nick Hoffman just got a new camera. Any recommendations on a tripod? 3, 2, 1. Bing, 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 bing.
Nick, first of all, for the Emperor. I don't use a lot of expensive tripods. I wish I could show you the one I have now. It's basically a monopod.
Maybe you can send. Can you shoot us an email so we can send you back a link?
Yeah, so it's a monopod with a little tripod thing that comes out the end. I use that for a lot of my shooting. It's great. It's quick, easy to move kind of thing. Tripods have a wide base that get in the way when you're trying to do shooting. This is if you're doing YouTube kind of stuff, which I know you do some stuff. He does some. By the way, check out Nick's YouTube channel. He's got a great stuff with some home forging and whatnot. What's the other one I have? The red M on it. It's not Monoprice. It's. Do you remember what it is, Dunk?
Nope.
You're the one who's good with names. What's it called? I will be honest. Unless I'm doing high end videography, I just buy whatever's on sale at Best Buy. I'm not a snob when it comes to tripods.
And Justin Dow says to Nick, he says, whatever fits in your budget. They range anywhere from $20 to $2,000. Find one that supports the weight of your camera and upgrade as you go if needed.
Yeah, because I literally have like
Manfrotto?
Manfrotto.
Okay.
The Manfrotto is nice because it's got a head on it that isn't like digital. It has a ball head, so you can put it in all these weird positions. But I literally have almost 10 or 12 tripods. And I use them for all sorts of stuff. I use them for lighting. I use them for cameras. I use them for microphones. I use them for all sorts of stuff.
Ed the Old Techite, thank you so much. He also posted Manfrotto tripod. So thank you. And so did Brian. So I really appreciate it when you guys, we are totally human and we have like brain farts and can't remember things. So I love it when you guys jump in there and answer the question.
Drank really bad rum.
Yeah. It's also after 9 and I am not feeling well. Yeah.
Okay. Well, why don't you say goodnight and I will catch up and why don't you go lay down or something?
But then we can't say goodbye together.
Okay. I will catch up real quick. Let me take my drink. Ooh. There will be no nail polish on my tongue, or my throat, or my liver.
I would just like to say to anyone watching, just don't drink. It's not a good choice.
No, it's not a good choice.
Nope.
Remember what Nancy said? Nancy says just say no. So Michael says this social stupidity is not new. Look up Sacco Vanzetti case from the early 1900s. It's been around before, and that the biggest mistake you can make is thinking that we've invented something new. No, even when it comes to stupidity, there's nothing new under the sun.
Yeah.
Bunny says hi. We said hi to Bunny. Big hugs for her. Michael says firework or shot. Fireworks are based on black powder. Is fairly slow in terms of the bang. Yeah, that's true. The bang has a more soft, round feel to it rather than the acute sound of high power cartridge. Michael says the war experience has made me a bit twitchy about explosions. I keep running into people who try to escalate fireworks to ordnance. There's no such equivalence.
Fireworks to ordnance?
Yeah. I have never been, I did not serve in the armed forces, so I don't know that experience. I, however, have had my house hit by a drive-by shooting with about 200 plus rounds. So I do understand that feeling. While sitting in the living room, that was awesome. Exec Magic Dreams says, can you say, hi, Addie, please?
What?
Couldn't possibly do that. No, I'd tease. Addie, howdy from the Den of Tools. Hope you have a great 4th of July.
Happy 4th
Stay
of
safe
July.
out there. And just now says Gabby. Yeah. Gabby, she looks good for her age, doesn't she? Rock and Roller Man says, can one use a Harbor Freight 20% coupon on top of a sale item? No stacking coupons, except for there might be 5 coupons in the history of Harbor Freight that allow stacking, but the super coupons are not one of them. Donna Ross says, Abby from NCIS. How am I that far behind?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And it jumped on me again. Good grief.
Well, Hawk, yes, Jeff is internally disinfected.
Yes. Blind Toolman says, I hear flies, lots of flies. Jody says, my cousin did the $100 trick to my brother in the SRT4 that had a stage 3 turbo upgrade. Oh, if you ever get a chance to go to what was that auction we went to? Duncan auction, big auction.
Mika? No.
No.
Was it Meekum?
No, it was the other one. It was the big one with the classic cars.
Meekum's a big one with classic cars.
Started with a J or something.
It started with a B, didn't it?
Yes,
Barrett Jackson.
Barrett Jackson.
Went to Barrett Jackson and they had a Dodge was out front in the parking lot doing free drift rides in the Dodge. Was it the Demon?
Yeah, it was.
I thought it was the Hellcat.
No, it was the Hellcat. It was before they came.
Yeah, because I got 3 Hellcat shirts.
Yeah, we got a bunch of Hellcat shirts. Oh my gosh, that was so much fun. Steven says, well, I got to go to bed. Have to work in the AM. Everyone take care. Good night, Steven. Donna Rod, go tuck him in. He needs it.
Good night.
Special Moose says, favorite everyday carry drill driver. My current is the Bosch Flex Click. Everyday carry drill driver. I mean, that's... I carry a Leatherman Skeletal for everyday carry. As far as drill driver, honestly, I like the Hercules 12-volt stuff. Scorpion Sunday says, over the past month, I've purchased quite a few tools and have changed jobs. I will make a video tomorrow. Looking forward to. Send me an email. Let me know. I'll throw it up on the community channel. Give you a shout out there. Justin Dow says, missed the comment before the one you read.
Yes, and I read it.
Okay. Michael says, speaking of car batteries, my wife's 07 Prius has a very expensive 12-volt battery. I refuse to drop the 425 for a Group 51 battery. Then you can get the auto parts store. Thank you. That's exactly the way I felt about that. Ronald says, my neighbor has a Sunbeam Tiger with a V8, and it was a weekend special, beautiful green. Ooh. Michael says, this was due to the non-standard size lugs used rather than the stock 7/8. Terminal they used 13 to 14 millimeter. Found out the 14 millimeter plug cutter would shape them to the correct size. Oh, that's a good call. Saffiel says, and everyone thumbs up. Look at this. We got 128 current views with 146 likes. That's awesome. Yeah. Justin Dow says, hello, it's okay, Mama Bear.
Thank you.
Frank says, we had a dog that would take 2 days for him to recover, wouldn't leave for a few days, so we're turned off by them, which is another reason why we did this tonight for the people who don't want to go out and experience that. Ed, the old tech guy, says, fireworks sound so crazy here. It sounds like they spent their whole stimulus check on fireworks.
Oh, no.
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Zafiel says, hi at Justin Dow. Sorry I missed your live stream. You just moved the thing I was reading.
You're supposed to be reading your side.
Basically, he said the reason he missed it is because he dropped his phone in water. And he's really sorry and hoping that he can reassemble it, but it's not looking good.
Oh.
I am, maybe rice? A bag of rice? Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Ed, the old tech guy, the fireworks sounds like crazy here. Sounds like, we just read that. Scorpion says, my last stick was a 1994 F350 4x4. Jan says, CSI Vegas is the original one, not on anymore.
That's where I read stuff that has to do with the tornado.
Okay, so where do I pick up here?
Stop. Justin Dow commented. Michael.
Free ice for your drink. We saw that.
Yep, we saw that.
Miss having a porch to watch the storms roll in. I know that feeling. I love watching the storms roll in. We have a great vantage point because we're really at, it's not technically, as far as labeling, the north end of Yellowstone, but the mountain range that comes right up to Livingston is the same mountain range that's connected to Yellowstone. And we get to see the storms roll through Yellowstone, and it is so gorgeous.
And then the aftermath leaves a ton of snow.
Yes. And then you get snow-capped peaks afterwards. Mm-hmm. Justin says, one day we should do a couple shoot and let the wife unleash hell on some zombie targets.
Yep.
Hell yeah, we should do that. Blind Toolman says, Screwball, which is peanut butter. We did a live stream with Screwball Whiskey about a month ago.
That's not this.
Not this one. Oh. It's fun for an every once in a while kind of thing. Dada Ross says, Steve turns up the TV way up so I can hear the stream from the TV like 60. Glad I caught it before putting up Sharks video for Ricky. Could have been deaf.
Yep.
Eric says, you can get 110 round drum for the 1022. Can your Winchester garbage do that? I don't know if I need to. Scorpion says, my dream car is the 1970 Boss 429 Mustang. I'll tell you what, I love the Mustang. What do you call it? What's the mid 70s or early 70s fastback? Not the Boss, but I just forgot the name of it. A friend of mine in high school had one. Mike says, I have an old 12 gauge side-by-side shotgun belonged to my great-grandfather that still shoots as good as new. Do shotguns have a much collector value? Oh, shotguns have huge collector values to them. Side-by-sides are my personal favorite. That's my warm, fuzzy space. I like the 20 gauge Upland Game style myself, especially if it's got an English style stock. Oh, forget about it. Frank says, Factory 5 has a kit that is built on the Subaru WRX drivetrain. Ooh. Well, I'm going to check that out. Manfrotto, we talked about it. The guy mentions. Michael Moresh says, 63 Corvette is the 1 year only split window worth plenty? Yeah, it is. Ricky says, tough question. Yesterday I saw 2 Redemption Garage videos that claim you are a Harbor Freight shill. Can you comment?
Justin Dow already kind of basically answered it, which is basically, does it really matter with the content that you put out? Ricky responded saying, I know he's not, but there are many outside viewers that believe or believe others wish. I bought a table saw, miter saw, and several other things from Harbor Freight because of his advice. Justin Dow then goes on to explain that says, and you won't be disappointed if you bought them for using it for yourself. Now, if you can afford the pro name brands, you wouldn't be looking at Harbor Freight, would you? So basically it's going back and forth. Justin's basically making the point, which is, no, you're not a shill. It's been addressed before.
Let me ask you this. Would you shill just because someone gave you free tools, or your morals or ethics that low? Mine aren't. But here's the thing he never comments about. Redemption Garage. And I'm not going to do a video on it because that's what he's hoping. He's hoping I'm going to do a video that will then give him a whole bunch of free shoutouts and grow his channel because he's so desperate. And look at how many views he got after that. Go look at how many views he got after doing that. He got a whole bunch of views for doing that. And then after that, he's gotten squat because everyone knows what he is. He reached out to me personally and asked for me for help growing his channel. And I helped him with it. And I talked to him about it. And I said, just be yourself, be honest, talk about tools, talk about what you think about him. And I gave him some ways to do it. And I told him, like, look, you can either be honest about doing stuff or you can do stuff that is trolling for views. And he immediately went out and did a trolling for views video. And basically after that, I was done with him. And if he wants to do that kind of stuff, that's great. My channel has continued to grow and to be honest, Justin has dealt with the same kind of stuff. The people who sit there and who whine about you're a troll and blah, 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 9 times out of 10, or that you're a shill, 9 times out of 10, they're the ones who are honestly shilling. My issue with Redemption Garage is that he, quite frankly, begged and pleaded for Harbor Freight to send him free tools, got free tools, did stupid amounts of videos to the point where people didn't want to hear about it. And then when he got negative feedback from his viewer base going, well, you're doing too many of these. He then flipped and tried to pretend that he didn't like Harbor Freight tools and that he hated them because basically he was shilling for his audience. I'm sorry. I love you guys. I value having you, but I'm not going to change my opinion for anybody.
Well, and well, here's the deal. I think you do sometimes change your opinion if you use a tool for a long time.
Oh, I'll change my opinion for because it's right.
Right, because something has changed. Experience has changed, or the product has changed.
Yeah.
The other thing is, it's okay if we don't agree. You and I, in a marriage, we don't agree a lot.
Well, the other thing is, though, they talk about, well, you shill for Harbor Freight. I'm like, no. I have done more negative videos about Harbor Freight tools than anybody, than probably all the other tool channels combined. I've talked about the 12 volt, that they're great tools, but they're overpriced. I used to do a monthly review of the catalog, and I would go through every single month and go, this tool's junk, avoid it. But get this tool. It's an okay tool, but you have to fix it before it's actually worthwhile. I did this all the time. And of course, these people go, well, you're just saying that so that you can say that you said negative things so you can chill for the good stuff. At that point, you're just trolling, dude. You're just desperate and thirsty, trying to make excuses. Because you can come up and say, well, you just said bad things. I'm like, I did say bad things. I have said negative things about Harbor Freight. I have said things so negative about Harbor Freight that the marketing department at Harbor Freight probably has a hit out on me. The marketing department hates me.
Well, I don't think that's true. I mean, I think you're in jest. But I think the point is that you are honest. And you're not going to be like, well, I'm going to change my opinion or my public opinion or review about a product because of the company. You're going to review it honestly, just like you review any of the tools.
Well, that's the other thing. They say, well, you're just a shill for Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight didn't contact me until I've been doing this channel for 3 years reviewing Harbor Freight tools.
Yep.
Let's talk about Milwaukee. who contacted me not once, not twice, but 3 times, and then realized that I'll disclose every single time. I was like, if you send me tools, I'm going to disclose that I do the tool, that you sent me these tools, and they won't call me back.
Yeah. So, sorry. I'm not feeling well, which we've already talked about. But the Tank had made a comment earlier saying, yes, I'm so happy that I was able to make the live stream. And the Tank also did a super chat for $4.99. He says, I don't know if you remember me from earlier this week, but it made me so happy when you liked my comment. I love your content and I can't stop watching. So thank you so much, the Tank. I don't know if you're a man or a woman. But I'm super glad that you are watching, and don't forget that your content is important as well. So yes, we liked your comment, but just, I don't want anyone to ever feel sort of piggybacking on the last discussion. Like you have to say like, yes, everything you say is amazing, because that's not real. Be real, be honest, say, hey, I didn't like this particular product. Am I using it wrong? Is there something that I'm, or whatever? You guys can have a dialogue. Anyways, I'm taking away from your super chat. I'm super sorry. $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much, the Tank. 3, 2, 1. Bing, ding, 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 ding.
Here's a great example. Justin Dow. Justin Dow, I love Justin. Like a brother, man. He's a great guy. He's a great family man. He's a professional mechanic. He's a great tool guy. He and I disagree about Stanley Black & Decker. He has used, like recently, he's been huge on the Stanley Black & Decker Impact. I am not a fan of Stanley Black & Decker. I think that in the long run that you're going to lose money going with them. I can disagree with Justin. I have no problem with him seeing it from a different perspective. No issue with that. But Justin is entirely honest, and he's going to say what he thinks. And he's honestly, kids, cover yours. He's honestly of the screw you, I don't care, this is me, deal with it. Yeah. Redemption Garage is of the, oh, you don't like me, I'm going to flip and be what I think you want me to be because I want to become a professional YouTuber. And Justin's like, this is what I do. And that's how I got into YouTube. YouTube was a hobby for me, and it grew to the point where it became serious. It became our main profession, and we're blessed for that. But, Justin and I come from the same standpoint of this is our opinion. Deal with it, like it or don't. And we're not going to change who we are to try and court viewers. And I think that's why you've seen other channels die off, because they claim that they're not shills, but at the end of the day, everyone really knows what they're doing. Troy S says 69 Mach 1, 428 Cobra. Mach 1, that was the one. I like the Mach 2, but Mach 1's good. And a 428 Cobra Jet. Oh, yeah. And Scorpion says, I just picked up a new lapel mic, which I will be trying out tomorrow. Let me know. I have never had luck with lapel mics. Let me know how it goes. Do you need to do something?
I was just going to read the Tank's comment so it doesn't get lost. It says, all good. LOL. I'm an 18-year-old guy raised in a broken home. I really appreciate all that you guys put out because I never had my dad to teach me about all this stuff. Thank you. You are so welcome. I realize you're not talking to me because I'm not the dad figure, but you're welcome. And I appreciate that you said that, because I think that there are lots of people who maybe watch and don't ever say anything. And I would also say anybody who is in our channel that has knowledge, if you know a kid in the neighborhood, boy or girl, that, needs to learn how to change a tire. If you're doing one of those things, it doesn't take any extra energy, really, to say, hey, come on over, guys. Come check out how you do this. And, the first time you might have a couple kids that aren't super interested, but you'll be surprised.
And just so you know, I came from a broken home. My parents divorced when I was 5. My whole father's side of the whole family moved from Iowa out to Arizona. I used to spend my summers out there until my dad's new wife decided that she didn't want me around anymore. So I know exactly what that's like. And I had to learn a lot. I learned some of it from him before I was kicked to the curb. And I had a grandfather who stuck around who taught me a lot of stuff. But I had to learn a lot of it the hard way. I became a carpenter when I was 18. I learned on the job. I'm a voracious reader. I learned about everything I could, read everything I could. So, welcome to the family, man. Hang out. Don't feel bad. A lot of us went through that, and there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Michael says, I would like to be an alcoholic. I just don't have the talent. So being depressed about this somehow is not having me drink.
Nice.
And let's see here. Justin's comments, he basically synopsized there. Dada Ross says he's been in bed for 15 minutes.
That was like 45 minutes ago.
It wasn't that long ago.
Sure it was.
No, it's not. The tank said, sorry for the caps. Just complaining to my brother. I missed your stream. Greg says, what's up with Harbor Freight stock? They're basically, the country is getting back into it so fast that people are going out and buying tools. So much so that basically they can't keep up with demand. I talked to somebody at corporate about this, and that's what they told me. They said they have a supply chain. The supply chain is running at normal capacity. They just can't keep up with your demand. Matt says, yeah, you're still going. Just got back from my neighborhood resort, watching the town's fireworks up at the lake. Lots of boats on the lake watching. The tank says Mach 1 Mustang. Love the Mach 1 and Mach 2 are really the only Mustangs I like. Gary says, happy 4th, everyone. Got it home after all day cleaning up the daughter's new home. The weeds were so bad. Aww. Trimmer cut them down, then mowed 2 times. We've had to do that a number of times here.
Yep.
Keith said he has a 69 and a 72 Mach 1 Mustang. In other news, nobody likes you, Keith. Nobody.
We're just jealous. Pictures or it didn't happen? Oh, sorry. Was that out loud?
Frank says, Mrs. DeMare, hope you feel better.
Thanks.
PT says, you're talking about the Mustang Mach 2? Yes, I am. PT says, my first car was 64 Mustang. Again, nobody likes you. Why do you gotta do that? My first car was almost an old Lancia, and my parents wouldn't let me buy it, and I ended up in a 73 Chevy Vega held together by the rust.
I had a 1978
My mother
Datsun.
hated me. Project One says, what do you know about Home Depot sale on Milwaukee high torque half-inch impacts? Not a thing. I've been out of the loop all week. Zafio says, is a shill for the Dental Tools is a shill for the exercise acts.
That's right, Zafil, you've cracked it. We're actually
They did pay me. They did pay me. I showed it off. I still think there's other ways you can get the exercise done, but it was actually a lot better built than I was expecting.
If
anybody wants it, come by, swing by the house. I'll give it to you. I'm not shipping it because it weighs too much and too big.
I might fight you for it. Ed, the old tech guy, $5 super chat. It says, Bear, Justin Dow, and you are awesome for what you do. I also had a dad that was only until I was 9. YouTube and guys like you have helped me so much. Oh, Ed, you are awesome, and you are such an important part of our community. So thank you, mainly for saying that. The super chat is awesome as well, but I really appreciate the words. So thank you so much. I'm going to ring the bell. 3, 2, 1. Bing, 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 bing.
Hey, another YouTuber who is a great dad, a great family member, or family man, somebody who I don't agree with on a lot of stuff, is Brad's Workbench. And a lot of people think I hate Brad because I give him crap.
We love him.
They're like, oh, nobody likes you, Brad. We love Brad. Brad's a great guy. Yeah. And, he and I have disagreed on a lot of things. We've gotten into some heated discussions about stuff, and I've probably crossed the line as a friendship kind of thing goes about being heated. But at the end of the day, that's what real men can be like that. We can get upset. One of my best friends in the whole world, Matt Gilbert, he and I would have just knocked down heated arguments about stuff, calling each other names and whatnot.
Griffin.
And at the end of the day, still love each other like brothers. And if you haven't checked out Brad's Workbench, you got to check out his channel.
Thank you,
Home
Michael.
Handyman. Justin Dow's dad, you got to check him out.
Absolutely.
Who else? The other handyman guy does Maintenance Man. Maintenance Man.
Yep.
Got to check him out.
Yep, absolutely. Check him out. He's very cool. Eric with the $5 super chat. Thanks for the show. We can all tell you're tired and appreciate you spending part of your holiday with us. Thank you so much. And I love seeing the plane in your little icon picture.
I do too.
3,
It
2,
makes me so happy.
1. Bing, da ding, bing, 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 bing. Sorry, I binged and there wasn't a bing.
Trolling for dollars says, I believe in what you say regardless of the product and what you're talking about. Here's what I'm going to tell you. I always tell you if somebody sent me something for free or whether they paid for something. Justin always does. Brad does. A few other ones do. A lot of other very large channels I used to really like, who talk about Milwaukee all the time, do not. And they're not honest about it. And I'm really disappointed in people like that.
But it's the 4th of July, and we're saying happy birthday,
Yes,
America.
I'm trying to catch up real quick. Project One says, what do you know about... Oh, we talked about that. Jeff, you're pretty brutal with some Harbor Freight stuff early on. One of the reasons I started watching, I'm always honest with the Harbor Freight stuff. And I didn't know that they were going to start changing their product lineup. And the whole point of the channel got started basically was to help people find those diamonds in the rough that Harbor Freight had. And I still talk about ones that people should avoid at all costs. The 10-inch sliding miter saw from Harbor Freight, I know a lot of people who like it. I think it is death on wheels. It's not as bad as the Finger Slicer 1000 table saw. All right, there's a ton of stuff. That little grinder rotary tool thing, complete junk. There's a lot of stuff at Harbor Freight that I don't think is worth lighting on fire. The Dada Ross says, wrap up time. Jesse, go to rest. She does need to go take a nap. Let's see here. The Tank says, I also appreciate how unapologetic you are about your opinions. Oh, I'm very opinionated. It's important and rare not to find a pushover on YouTube these days that's trying to please as many as they can. Dude, here's what you guys don't realize. I get a death threat once or twice a week from people who are pissed off that I said that Snap-on is overrated or that Milwaukee is overrated or the DeWalt's overrated. Here's the funny part. I get people who watch my DeWalt video and say that I'm a Milwaukee fanboy. Then watch the Milwaukee video and say I'm a Milwaukee fan or a DeWalt fanboy. Or I'm apparently a fanboy of everything because that's what I'm called out. And it's insane. I literally get people saying if they find me in person that they would take me out. And it's all because I'm honest. Because I don't sit there and I don't kowtow to an advertiser. I don't kowtow to a manufacturer. I don't kowtow to public opinion. It's just being honest. And that the people I talk about, like Justin Dow and Brad's Workbench and all this stuff, those are people who do the same thing. They say it like it is. The Tank says, I kind of wish he wasn't in my life in the first place because he was an abusive alcoholic, but my parents divorced when I was only about 5. Right before the important years. Yeah, I know how you feel. Project One says, what do you know about... My father wasn't an alcoholic. My mother was. And that was the one I stayed with. That was wonderful. What do you know about Home Depot sale? I don't know anything about the half-inch impact. I haven't looked into it. I'll have to check it out. Justice House says, me, is there a shortage of everything, including online purchasing as a result of the pandemic? Yeah, shipping on everything is way delayed. I ordered a power supply. I got it 3 months after I ordered it. Michael says, I just sent you an email, some photos, and an article you might get a few chucks out of. I'm always open to seeing those. Echo says, man, that was a cold ride in a Jeep. Oh.
Yep.
I remember in northern Kentucky going through, they'd have these little swales you'd go through. And in spring, because I was so eager to take the top off and take the doors off and whatnot, and you'd be like, this is great. You're in the sun. You'd go down one of the little gullies, and it would be so bitterly cold.
$1.99. How do y'all feel about the 4th protests? I hate it. That's the Tank. 3, 2, 1. Ding, 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 ding. No, $1.99.
I'll be honest, if you're protesting the entire country, just move. Leave.
No, I don't think
No.
there's anything wrong with protesting. I think
The
there's...
entire country?
Okay, I'm saying if you're being destructive, there's an issue.
Yeah, if you're standing on highways, I have an issue with you. If you're breaking the law, I have an issue.
But that's
with
not
you.
the same as protesting.
If you want to do true civil disobedience, take a square, do a sit-in. Standing on a highway that stops people from getting home or going to work, that's wrong. Frank says, I like Justin Dow's dad, the home handyman. He's a great guy. I have, of all the other YouTubers I deal with, I probably get phone calls from him for more often than anybody else. He'll call me up every so often just to ask me a question or to pick my brain about something. Justin, he is a great, I don't know what he was like a dad. I can't speak for that. He seems like a great guy. And really fun to talk to.
I would say I think it goes both ways.
That I'm a great dad?
That's not what I'm saying.
Oh,
you know
wow.
what I mean? That you guys call each other, you know?
Yes,
Like
yes.
that you guys reach out to each other. And sometimes it's not a phone call. Sometimes it's an email or something. But it's a community through and through.
Yeah. I'm really big on the whole community
Yep.
thing.
Oh, my goodness. Yes, being destructive is not protesting.
My grandfather used to say, family isn't everything, it's the only thing. But I would take that further because, if you guys don't know, I'm also an ordained minister. I've done a couple weddings. And I'm a big believer in the whole concept of there's the family you're born with and there's a family you choose. And the family you choose quite often is more important than the family you're born with. And we've developed an amazing family with everyone here on YouTube. All right. Did you have something you need to ring? Because I need to catch up here.
I did.
Because we got to go meet some friends.
Masters Workshop, $5 super chat after the live stream.
Maters.
What did I just say? Masters?
Masters.
I'm tired and I don't
Freudian
focus.
slip?
No, it's not okay. I need to say the right name.
Freudian
Maters Workshop, $5 super chat. After the live stream, I'm uploading a video of all my Winchester broomsticks, including one over 100 years old. Good night and rum on.
That's
Have
awesome.
a great night.
Gary says, neighbor said the owner did not know that the house air filter had to be changed every year and had not changed in 3 years. The dryer. Change your air filters. If you don't know, you need to change. Should be probably changing it every month unless you buy the 1 year filters and you need to change it every year. Armed ASMR. Hey, good to see you again.
Hey.
Do you have any advice for stump removal? Any special way that you've dealt with it? I have a very old school way of dealing with it. You need, I can't believe that people don't know what this tool is. Mattock. M-A-T-O-C-K. It's a pickaxe on one end and a spade bit on the other. And what you do is you go, depending on the size of the tree, you go a couple feet out from it and you use the pickaxe side to break up the dirt in a circle all the way around. And then you use the spade bit side to cut through roots. Leverage it out. And then you just pull the whole thing out. It's like cutting out bad cells. There's all sorts of people like you can put this kind of chemical on it, or you can blow it up with dynamite, or you can burn it, all this stuff. Just cut a big circle, chew the whole thing out. It's a little bit of work. It's not as much as you think. And then you can just pull the whole thing out, fill it with good clean dirt, and be done. Just now, LMFAO, me too. It's freaking nuts. Yes, it is. And almost finished here. Doing this YouTube thing can be cheap or very expensive. The bigger you grow, the more your viewers demand. That is so true. Home Depot was empty today. Gary says it was nice. No people in the store. Scorpion Sunday says, I'm in love with the Yankee Rose. I'm not sure what that means, but unless you're talking about me. In which case, thank you. Michael says, remember that Pink Floyd once saying, stay out of the road if you want to grow old? And the tank says, I'm on vacation and some BLM people blocked the way back from the beach. Not even the way to the beach today. Did nothing except waste police and civilian time. Yeah, you don't appeal to people and get people to be on your side doing that kind of crap. Ed the Old Tech Guy support anyone's right to protest as long as it does not become violent or infringe on other people's rights. Violence is never the way. Thank you. Ethan says, how do you feel about DeBoss Garage? Also have the same opinion as you. I don't know if I've watched DeBoss Garage. It sounds familiar, but I don't know if I've seen it. Frank says, was that tool walk? Ricky says, rioters are not the same as protesters. Thank you. If America's so bad, they should try going to China. Yeah, good luck. Go anywhere. Go to Mexico. Let me know how that works out for you. Yankee Rose is the American flag. Is it really? Because I'm 50-some years old and studied American history. I've never heard it called that. Anyway, we're caught up. We got to go. We are 36 minutes past due. We got people to meet tonight. Anyway, happy 4th of July. Happy Independence. Embrace it. Celebrate it. Stand up for it. Because no one's going to do it for you. We're a co-op, right?
Well, America is what you make of it.
It is. Be the change you want to see in the world. There's a saying for you. Anyway, till next time, you all take care, God bless, and as always, shine on. Love you all. They're going nuts out there.
Yep.